sleep. I be out the house, fuck it, I be out of town. You don't know the route, you ain't never sold a pound. Nigga call my phone, better know what's going down. Young jock, keep a tray pound, niggas know the sound. We gon' shoot that bitch up, we ain't talking it out. These niggas do too much talking while they falling out. Niggas talking about a drought, bitch, we standing out. I had that shit up in the, I ain't saying it now. Yeah, get your ass to run around. You a broke pussy nigga tryna hang around. Yeah, you will bring the whole gang down. We ain't saying shit to these niggas, not a name around. Yeah, fuck it, we gon' lay them down. We gon' take them down like we Chris Brown. Yeah, nigga pause. I was tryna get in the game, they ain't passed the ball. Fuck, I was a paw. Now I make it rain and they clapping ass. Round of applause. Fuck it, I'm a dog, I'm a big bear, you a cub. Not at all, you a fake nigga just watching, not involved. You a pussy nigga, stay station, you ain't raw. I'm on call for this G shit. Nigga, call my phone, hey, fuck it, I'ma be quick. Nigga, you know how the streets get. Nigga, you better know that we really lit. I be flexing on these niggas, they don't stand by. Pay 600 for my kicks, yeah, I'm damn fly. Pay 600 for my kicks just to hoop. Spent 1,000 in Versace, I ain't even want it, ooh. Nigga, what you saying? Supreme hoodie and a Babe T10. Babe draws, little bitch, I'm the man. Gucci size, Gucci belt, what the fuck? These niggas broke, stop playing. I got 5 bands on me now, I'm saying. I ain't tryna cut a check, baby, I'm saying. Only got cash, no account, I'm saying. Long as they making this shit, we gon' get it. Long as we living like this, you gon' listen. Long as I'm talking my shit, boy, I'm tripping. Long as these niggas mad at me, they gon' feel it. Long as these niggas mad at me, they gon' feel it. Yeah, these niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. Yeah, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. Nigga, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. Nigga, these niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. Yeah, bitch ass nigga, I would say a whole lot more shit, but it ain't no motherfucking need to. You niggas know what the fuck you doing. You niggas look in the mirror, wash your face every day. You know that shit filter with hate, nigga. Fuck you, go get a bag, nigga. Do what we doing. We blowing that shit, nigga. If you got it, blow that shit, nigga. Live your life, nigga. Stop worrying about me, nigga. Y'all dick.
Damn, Matchy, what you have to do like that?
About to bring it back. You one and only. Yeah, back in the building, you're back on the block. Had to take a step back, now I'm back on top. Back in your face, cool ties back in the place. On my way back to the bank with the numbers to the safe. Back by popular demand, we about to act up. Bump rush the back door, y'all dudes better back up. I'm in the back of a cab, blowing the Garcia Vega. Headed back to the lab to drop some more flavor. Back like the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We 25 deep in the back of the bodega. Throwing dice, getting nice, you better know some names. Before you walk back here, rocking them 2 chains. I'm from back in the days, graffiti tag trains. Real gangsters push your way back, you staring at them strange. We in the building, hoodies dressed in black. 200 strong, my dog strapped, watching my back, come on.
You one and only. Y'all what show is front?
About to bring it back.
I'm a man of boss. You one and only. Y'all what show is front?
About to bring it back.
I'm a man of boss.
Hey yo, boom bap general, never settle for minimal. Independent hustle, these record labels are criminals. I get it my way, do a die way. Hit the highway, snatch the bag and be home by Friday. Me and my guys, enterprise, worldwide. Drop bombs on you while we chanting our war cry. You better duck when these bars fly. Similar to getting struck in the drive-by. I stay fly from head to toe, low down. You must be crazy, layers and flavors like Gucci and Louis back in the 80s. Peanut butter leather seats, big body Mercedes. Pumping heavy D in the boys. Hello, ladies. Hat cocked to the side, the flow is presidential, monumental. When I lace the standing man, instrumental. Essential to the culture of rap. Yo, I'm back, coming through. Ladies clapping, players tipping they hat. This is pure crack, get in line, 2 for the dime. Hurry up, supplies last a limited time. Design like no other, I represent the art. Been down from the start, watching Cold Crush Brothers, come on.
You one and only. what show is front?
Time's about to bring it back. I'm a man in the bars.
You wanna know? Y'all, what show is front?
Time's about to bring it back. I'm a man of bars.
They call me Sauce.
That sound good, don't it? Yeah, listen, look. I represent my city right.
City right,
Show you what our city like.
city life,
It's more than barbecue and gun sounds.
gun sounds.
When it comes to our city life,
City life,
that's why I represent my city right.
city right.
And if you catch a Kansas City flight, just know that we gon' hold you down. We gon' shine cause our city bright. Kansas City lights, middle of the map. Baby, I'm a owner. Kansas City persona. Barbecue my aroma. It's feel like 18th and Vine with the grown-ups. I hopped out the ride with something fine. When I showed up, it came from a Kansas City vine. When I pulled up, back and forth across state line. Now they know us came from them concrete lines. But we rose up, you know they red lines couldn't hold us. My bros up, product of that racial residential segregation. But we not gonna let it take it, make us lazy. See, this greatness takes a lot to get in places, but we here now. Yeah, it's all year now, shooting all our fears down. Like the Kaufmans and the Halls, this is my heartland. Startland City can't knock our plans. Laced by the hustlers out of Wyandotte, man. Now I slide on beats like the cha-cha dance. Yeah, I represent my city right.
City right,
Show you what our city like.
city life,
It's more than barbecue and gun sounds.
gun sounds.
When it comes to our city life,
City life,
that's why I represent my city right.
city right.
And if you catch a Kansas City flight, just know that we gon' hold you down. We gon' shine cause our city bright. Kansas City lights.
These Kansas City lights will mesmerize you. On the other hand, them gunshots will petrify you. Our energy electrifies you. Block hotters and aggressive fire. Right now, this the time brighter than the plaza when it's going into Christmas time. Planes landing if you look high. Black people come to trick or treat on the Brookside. Focus on my bag growing. Right inside the district, they got jazz going. We all getting money, you can see the sales. Might wiggle a little bit through the P&L. The Westport is jam-packed, open mic booming. Everybody think they can rap. G's putting on the show, you should come to watch. I got that bright glow, shining like 100 watts.
Look, I represent my city right.
City right,
Show you what our city like.
city life,
It's more than barbecue and gun sounds.
gun sounds.
When it comes to our city life,
City life,
that's why I represent my city right.
city right.
And if you catch a Kansas City flight, just know that we gon' hold you down. We gon' shine cause our city bright. Kansas City lights. City lights.
KC Mo, stand up one time. We bring it hard. You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned. We ain't changed. Yeah. KC, know we running this spot. Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready? We bring it hard. You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned. We ain't changed. Yeah. KC, know we running this spot. Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready? Boom, boom, make room. Yeah, we back. Turn your system up. Yeah. All your haters sit back, better listen up. Listen as I bring it to you bar for bar. Enough blast to blow the speakers out the back of your car. Ha! I'm in the position to steal your attention. When I'm spitting, I'll make you feel what was written. Feel what I vision. Swimming in the tears that were missing. Years that were given from intellect to verbal collision. Come on. hates me. Start to wonder who loves and who hates me. But I stay focused with my head up high. Middle finger to my critics while I'm passing you by. Yeah, we coming hard if you're ready or not. Your favorite rapper in the game, yeah, we taking his spot. Credulous and that vandal by the name of Lloyd Daniel, about to make them start banging their heads. Yeah, you know we bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready, bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready, yeah. One for the money, dose for those who show respect for my music and support of my shows. Three for the ladies who get out on the floor, recite every word like they fell in love with my flows. Four for the haters who keep fueling my fire. Cynical smiles just make it hard to retire. Five for the credit crew, especially you. Those who keep screaming out, that's how we do.
That's how we do.
Yeah, my fans are crazy. They support me from KC to Germany, baby. Feeling what I'm doing, so I do what I feel. Realest of the real without a six-figure deal. I got my name on your girl and she wearing it proud. Then she hear me on the radio and turn it up loud. Make it pound, make it rock. In your city, in your block. It sound like KC, know we coming. Ready, bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready, bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready or not.
Listen, Lloyd Daniel, we on the track, bring it back harder than a heart attack. Know what I'm saying? Cause we stay true, cause we rollin' with the Greg crew, you know that's how we do.
Yeah, I'm heard with the best of them, serve to the rest of them. Make these motherfuckers get nervous and start checking them. On my list of real MCs. It's only time for somebody gon' blow in KC. I'm like something you can never erase. You want a track? Yeah, I got you. Hit me up on MySpace. We coming hard, every bar leaves scars. Regardless opposition, my position is flawless. Made them feelin' 04, bouncing 05. Y'all get every ounce of energy from me till I die. So when you hear this going, throw your hands high. Now make that shit bounce like you would in your ride. We bring it hard, harder than steel. I know you feel me. Real, realer than the next, what you expect. You never find no one to fill my slot. Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready, bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready, bring it hard.
You know the name. We ain't front, never stunned, we ain't changed.
Yeah.
Can't see, no, we running this spot.
Hey yo, tell these motherfuckers that we coming. Ready or not.
Proverbs 27:17. Fell from the heavens, hit the ground running. Gunning down anything in my path, I ain't frontin'. Marvelous, magnificent, my voice is an instrument. Angels surround my throne, praising beneficent. Most glorious, forever victorious. I think big like Bed-Stuys, notorious. For certain, we work and be damned if my family hurting. You interfere with that, I'll permanently close the curtains. Turn the cameras off, I'm bout it for real. Yelling Geronimo, charging from the top of the hill. On the grind all the time, in this concrete jungle. Flex muscle and hustle, who the hell wanna struggle? Grown ass man, I got a family to feed. So at any cost, cross me, you gon' bleed. This ain't tough talk, I'm just from that old New York. Get respect, or get your chin checked. Money, power, respect, live and direct. Ever since we used to pump the purple tape on the cassette deck. Live cats, warriors, as Cyrus. Bum rushing shit like Somalian pirates. Dudes just talking, they ain't really with it. Kinda hard to think when a bullet sizzle through your fitting. Sharper than a dagger, Kutasha great ain't your average rapper. A live MC, respected by the best of them. Get punched in your jaw for real, this ain't wrestling. Test my strength is like sniffing a key. Got you shook like the streets, heard you copping a plea. Kaepernick, all this rap shit, fist in one knee. Politically incorrect, who but me? Sipping victory from a king's cup at the round table. I'm Slick Rick, how I'm rocking all these gold cables. Kick over thrones, never think I'm alone. Back against the wall, I cock back and blast the jaw. Old school, stick 'em kid, point them dope boys out. Finish they rounds, catch 'em at the end of they route. Move about the cabin free with no seatbelt on. Parachute ready to launch in case something go wrong. Stay strong like a bicep, I'm Imhotep. Illuminate my reflection, eternal is high tech. I bet I'm one of the illest you heard in the wild. Original, rude boy, others mirror my style. Step to this and get blasted, your life will turn tragic. Styles are handcrafted, mastered and manufactured. Straight from the living room, more heat coming soon. Tea kettle warming up, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Kutasha great, standing man. When iron sharp as iron.
Yeah, you know I'm a problem. 816 goblin monster. Honest to God, call me an odd one. I'm on one. Fill up the wagon, no honor, mama. Look in your eyes, it's so solemn. Falling further and further. Can you help me crawling? Nowhere to go, I give up. I'm a goner. Nowhere to roam. My ship's stuck in these waters. Father to God, can you help me call? Feeling like I'm out of control. Feeling like I'm losing my soul. Somebody pray, please. Somebody save me. This ain't the way that my mom and dad raised me. Tell me in a dream, please. Somebody shake me. Who would have thought it would end this crazy? Dose. 1 and 2 will turn into more. Voices. 3, 4, 5 and I'm fiending for more. About to dance with the devil today. She got me feeling some type of way. I think I might pick a fight with my wife. Get a pipe, throw my life away. Your boy's cold. An offshore wind at the bottom of the bottle and the floor spins. And the haze mixed thoughts of abortion. I drown them out, drink more of my distortion. Another sad song, another war hymn. Lost more friends, more endorphins. A divorce ends and the Lord grins. And I'm stuck doing coke in New Orleans. I'm atrocious. Turning the more voices. 3, 4, 5 and I'm feeling for more doses. Feeling like I'm out of control. Feeling like I'm losing my soul. 1 and 2 are turning the more voices. 3, 4, 5 and I'm feeling for more doses. Feeling like I'm out of control. Feeling like I'm losing my soul.
Let's get me vibing up.
done done this and that. I have traveled the world, got a lot more to see, yeah. And that is a fact. Got success upon the mind. I'm talking all the time. It's my way out, it's my healing. I don't need distraction. Shawty, you are the attraction. And I can't believe my eyes. Shawty, you changed my life. You keep it all with me, yeah. Telling no lie. Yeah, I done done this and that, yeah. I have traveled the world. I done been to hell and back. Baby, you made it worth it. I'm not perfect, but that's different in your eyes. Shawty, I've been swerving, but I'm trying to make you mine. Just know I'ma treat you better, not bitter. Better, not better. Shawty, you my everything. You're my queen, darling. Pass me the visine, my eyes watering when I think about the bond we had. Yeah, I have made up my mind. I'm not going back this time. It's you that I'm loving, you that I cuff, yeah. Give zero fucks, yeah. What a hater gotta say. I'ma treat you better, not bitter. Oh, I'ma treat you better, not bitter. I done done this and that. Yeah. I have traveled the world, seen a lot of girls, seen a lot of places, seen so many faces. Oh my, you're right. Not compared to you, not compared to you.
Yeah. Oh shit. We got third degree in this motherfucker. Yeah. K to the R, you know what's up, man. That's what it is, man. I tell the bartender not to spill my drink. That's right, man. I need that shit full to the brim, you know what I'm saying? Feel this shit, though. Yo, I hit the bar with my pockets swole. Yeah. Ain't trying to drop a flow. Which you ain't see me with my brim tipping sockets low. I'm trying to get my drink on, that's how we rock and roll. You drinking like we drink, boy, make sure your cup is full. You see me in the club, but I ain't here to dance. Your girl smiling at me, shit, I'm just here to glance. Sipping that silver 7, dripping, you got to go. We snatch your bitch and make her pop, lock and drop it low. No, don't try me, I'm tipsy. You run your lips and get hissy. Me, I don't think you really want it with me. I'm saying, you think we playing, we ain't. What it is ain't no game. Shit, it's cool if you hang, but if you swerving our lane, we get to chopping quick. That's if you're talking shit. I warned you once, we ain't the ones you should be fucking with. We 20 deep, partner. You know that's how we roll. We take it toe to toe, lock and load, blow for blow. You see me at the bar while you trying to act hard. Don't be coming at me running your lips. Don't want it with me. What it is, I'm finna get my drink on. What it is, I'm here to get my drink on. You see me in the club and your girl show us love. Don't be coming at me talking that shit. Don't want it with me. What it is, I'm finna get my drink on. What it is, I'm here to get my drink on.
What it is, I'm drinking goose and getting illy. Shit, I'm ready for the drama. If I hate it, acting silly. I got a little pilly, but the can is in the truck. So if I make it to the Chevy, then somebody's fucked up. But right now I'm going hard, third focused on the stallion. I'm a baller, baby, so I brought a couple thousand. Nope, I ain't gonna blow it on you. I'm the red cup king, so I'ma blow it on Goose. I can't help but notice that suckers in they feelings and they been eyeing reckless since we came in the building, but it don't really bother us. Man, we on some real shit. Really trying to chill, but we can make it ugly real quick. We here to drink, so we gon' get our drink on. They bumping gums, then we gon' get our bang on. What it is, tell me what it's gon' be. Nigga out of bounds, 40 calories, what he gon' see.
You see me at the bar while you trying to act hard. Don't be coming at me running your lips. Don't want it with me. What it is, I'm
Welcome back into the Dog Pound, fellas. Outlaws Media Group once again bringing you this regional matchup. The Kansas City Bulldogs and the Missouri Valley Pitbulls is a matchup that I've seen in person 4 different times in the past. These two teams used to be in the MFA and kind of battled it out there. The Bulldogs always came out on top, but the Pitbulls, they are a team that kind of went a different way the last 2 or 3 years to kind of rebuild and rebrand their structure. They have, I believe, back-to-back championship appearances the last 2 years. They're building a brand, and there's a lot of things happening in St. Louis as far as football organization and structure. So while we have some time here before we get kicked off, it looks like they're going to delay kickoff a little bit. But while we got time, first I want to thank you guys for all hanging out and tuning in with us. But I do have the newly promoted president of operations in St. Louis. So I'm going to step aside and let him have the mic, and maybe you guys can talk, but I want him to just kind of tell us what's going on in St. Louis. What is the vision of what you guys are doing, and where do you see your organization moving as we go forward?
All right, can you guys hear me okay? Get a thumbs up. Oh, what's going on, Rich? First, thanks for having me, David. Back in St. Louis, what we're trying to do is hopefully what a lot of teams are going to start doing here shortly, and kind of just growing your area, growing the sport, and enhancing things inside the community. With the Missouri Valley Pitbulls, the Cyclones, and now the newly acquired MW Lions. What did he say? Now the newly acquired MW Lions, we're hoping to have a tier structure on how we can make players better, develop them, and go ahead and get them to a better area of success. A lot of guys want to play at different levels, so we're just trying to provide those options for all the players in St. Louis. There's a lot of good football in the Kansas City and St. Louis area, and hopefully, people start seeing that, and it's just not, one team all the time. I'll push a button here. Okay. David stepped away for a little bit. I guess they are delaying kickoff. It is hot, as usual, in Kansas City and in the St. Louis area. We thought it was going to stay within the 78 to 83 degree range, but on the field it is hot. I'm actually glad I'm up here in the booth. You want to go ahead and announce them?
All right, man. Welcome back. Hey, I thought they were going to go back to the locker room like usually. They didn't do it. So what you're seeing, there's a lot of things going on tonight in honor of Coach Dukes. For those of you that just tuning in, Coach Dukes is a defensive line coach, a longtime defensive line coach here at the Bulldogs who passed away, unfortunately, this last Friday. So an honorary captain tonight on the field that you're seeing walk out there tonight is J.C. Pearson. He's a graduate from the University of Washington Huskies. Back in the day, I don't want to throw out his age, but he did spend 8 years in the NFL as a corner. He played 7 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he finished up his last year with the Minnesota Vikings. And then he moved into the ESPN broadcasting studio with ESPN and Fox for the course of the last 18 years. So he's out there in honor of Coach Dukes. He's wearing his Chiefs, authentic Chiefs jersey. It may look like a throwback, but it's authentic. Yeah, who are the Chiefs, huh? We got these St. Louis. They don't even have a football team out there anymore.
We don't need a team. We don't need a football team. We have all 3 of our teams out there now.
All right. So I will be stepping aside here shortly. There is a memorial video scheduled to roll for Coach Dukes as soon as the defense steps on the field. So I will be stepping away. There will be silent on the mic as we take that moment of silence, and there will be a video going on the booth. So there will be a moment of pause here in a few minutes, depending on how this starts off. Mo is the head official here tonight. He's a crew that's very popular in the semi-pro scene. This is our second time having him out. I believe he reffed last week against the Bears as well. It's a ref crew that's gonna let you bang So they're gonna let you hit. They're gonna let you take each other's heads off. But what he doesn't allow is a lot of crap talk on the field. So that's one thing he does not agree with. So it looks like Bulldogs have won or will receive at least. I wasn't paying attention on who won.
The Bulldogs won. They're going to go ahead and select to receive. Get to see this offense from the Bulldogs. New young guys, right?
Yeah, so you're going to see a lot of the starting core starting out, and then they'll rotate and transition. There's a lot of young guys you'll see sitting on the bench here for the most of the night. Hopefully they can start transitioning in. I'm expecting Bulldogs to come out flying in their quick offense, no huddle, try to get Pitbulls early is what I'm expecting to see. So I could be wrong, but I'll be shocked if we don't see that hurry-up offense right out the gate here to try to set the tempo. Looks like they're trying to get the kicking team out. What is going on? So the kickers were setting up. The Bulldogs kickers were setting up.
Chose to receive. I was confused too.
Yeah. So I'm almost positive they're on the wrong side. So everyone's getting off on the wrong foot. Bulldogs should be to our right. For those of you who aren't in the Kansas City area, it's a pretty warm evening tonight. I don't have the temperature in front of me. Not very much of a breeze, but it's hot down there. I know that.
It went from a breeze to hot.
Yeah, it's about 86 right now as we get ready for kickoff, but not very much of wind going on. It's pretty still night. Not really any clouds in the sky. It's going to be hot. Car, appreciate you turning in, man. Kings, that's the Kings organization that me and you were talking about earlier. Bulldogs for the win. Car tuning in. We'll see, man. For those of you who don't know, this is a regional matchup. The reason it is in Kansas City and not in St. Louis is the Pitbulls and Bulldogs had agreed to a game probably 3 or 4 months ago before everything started and played out. It was kind of just, I'll be honest, it was shitty the way everything played out this year. But this is a game that was already agreed to, so they had the option of either playing this game and then playing a follow-up regional game later down the line or just calling this the regional and getting rid of it. So Pitbulls, being the organization they are, man, I'm glad we're playing the Pitbulls on tonight, out of all things, after losing Coach Dukes. This is a club that I have a lot of respect for. I know the team has a lot of respect for. You've seen them all hugging and shaking hands. So this is a team that they've got a lot of history for, man. You're not going to see any fight or no BS tonight. So good club. I'm excited to see this one.
I'm sure the guys that are going to be staying down here tonight, they'll be hanging out with the guys from the Bulls.
100%. 100%. Hey, do big things out there, man. That's another Bulldog. He was in the dog panel for a little bit this year, and he's off at college now. So we're looking at about 4 more, maybe 5 more guys we can get to college this year off the current roster. So that's the plan.
Hey, before we get started here, I want to give a shout out to Maxwell Weber. He's one of our guys that signed up.
I've seen him, Avila.
Yeah, got a full scholarship there and going to play college ball.
For those of you who, I mean, on that note, man, a lot of people say semi-pro, you're not, I just saw it yesterday, semi-pro, you're not going to go to the next level, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. The proof is in the pudding, man. It's there. If you're not acting like an idiot, you can go make an organization that runs themselves professional and puts a good brand on your back, and you can go to the next level. It's there. People are doing it. So number 43 right here, he's 19. He's a rookie. Number 50 is a rookie, first year with us. 4 of the 5 across that front line are all rookies. Bulldogs going to bring the ball to the left-hand side. They've got a crease. Number 15 there is able to shed the block. Sorry, I do not have a roster up here tonight, but number 15 sheds the block. Tackle made just around the 41. I don't see flag, so I believe Bulldogs will take over. Maybe there is a flag. Refs are talking about something. So there was the flag. Flag on the near side looks like offside, probably on the kicking team. So we're going to back him up, possibly, or just re-kick from there. Bye, man. Pitbulls with the dub. Let's go MVP. It's never, hey, bro, that game that we played, it was like 150 degrees. I remember that. I still have the thermometer reading. We took it at game time, at kickoff, 151 degrees, or 150.1 degrees. That last time we played the Pitbulls. No wonder Pitbulls left the league, man. Ain't nobody trying to play in that.
Hey, going back to what you're saying, a lot of people look at semi-pro and think, oh, these guys aren't getting paid. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. Regardless of the score between these two organizations, we've sent a lot of kids either to the next level, to college, or provided a better career for them, you know, career-wise. I mean, not everyone's built to go to college. Not everyone is looking to play at the next level for football. So if you can provide a situation for them that's going to better them in the long run, both of these teams have done a great job at that.
That's why I try to tell these young teams, don't worry about the wins and losses. They'll come. Worry about networking, building a brand, and giving your guys a chance to do something productive in their
Same kick.
ball received there. About the 20. Finds a middle seam. He's got a seam. He's chopped down by number 25. Hopefully you can help me out with the roster because I don't got a roster. So if you know, call them out.
They're wearing their old school unis, so no one has the right number. Probably outside number 35. That's Ronell Banks. That's money. 21 would be Jordan Barnes.
Where's Joe at?
Joe would be number 4. Joe always wears 4.
Max Weber. I believe this is Max Weber tapping in Cyclones.
Hey, again, great job, Maxwell. Everybody's proud of you from around the league and not only our organizations.
Hey, Atlas right down the street, man. So make sure you hit me up with that roster or your schedule. We'll come for you. That's literally about 10 minutes from my house. So it looks like Bulldogs are going to come out in that kind of spread formation. They do keep one, like Mont Connor in the Josh left side. Twins to the near side, twins to the far side. Carry there to Lamont Connor, straight forward. Going to pick up about 4, maybe 5 there on first down. Avery is somewhere on the sideline, not in uniform. He's in street clothes somewhere. Not sure if he's hurt. I'm not sure. I know I talked to him a little bit ago. He just said his mind isn't in the game right now. It doesn't feel right to him. So, but he's here somewhere walking around. D-Flash, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's going to be rough. There is a video coming up with Coach Dukes, a memorial video. Ouch. Lamont Connor gets the toss out of the backfield there. So there is a video that's coming up, and I'll be leaving the stadium. I'll be leaving the booth when that video plays. I'll go down there, but I'll post that video to the Facebook page as soon as it plays here. Yeah, Avery did say he was done. I don't know if that's a mental thing. He's just not checked into it, man. And he's been a guy who my son has looked up to for years and years and years. So for Avery to check out, man, you know there's something mentally just not right. Yeah, Mont's a big load to take down, man. He's a big guy. Wide open to Christian Buckner, and that is going to be an early 6 for the Kansas City Bulldogs. Checking for flags. I don't see flags. So that is an early touchdown from Kansas City. We'll see if that continues. Number 11, Trey Betancourt. I'm not going to say any namesake to that one, but he is on for the kick. No pressure, young man. Yeah, Avery's been a guy who's been around for years. Hey, give me a second. We'll have that on replay, and we'll see who it was. Call it down the sideline. Yeah, man, Avery's played with the Marshals, the Titans, the Panthers. I met him when I played with the Cavalry. He's been a man who's been all over. So for him to say he's done, takes a lot, man. So there's something, hopefully everything's okay with him physically and mentally. Game takes a toll on him. Snap is down, hold, and the kick is right down Main Street. So that's going to take us 7-0. I'm getting ready to hit the field. I'm going to kill the mic here in a little bit. I'm going to step aside. I'm going to work my way down onto the field. And I'll see you guys on the other side of this quick break. The mic will be shut off. I'm going to put a picture of Coach Dukes up. I'm going to work my way down the field because I want to be a part of my family while we go through this video. So appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. I'm gonna be a little bit short-winded here. I gotta catch my breath, man. Coaches are crying. It's weird, man. Coach Dukes was more than a coach. You know what I mean? He was a father to a lot of these guys, a brother. He's been my mentor for years, man. That one's gonna hurt for a long, long time. They say coaches, players take the identity of their coach on the field. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
Coach Dukes, it's funny. You hear him. Anybody who's been familiar with the dog pound, anybody who's ever played the Bulldogs, when the D-line, I don't care if they had 15 sacks a game or 0, Coach Dukes was absolutely relentless when it came to the D-line. At practice, those dudes worked their asses off. They made that sled. They pushed that sled up and down. Usually when you see people puking at practice, it was someone from the D-line, man. So D-line, throughout the Bulldogs' history, they've always talked about the Bulldogs' defensive line is their kind of their staple, you know what I mean? So that's going to be something that's going to hurt for a long, long time. That ball is brought up across the 40-yard line there. Bring up about a 3rd down and 7 as we get back. Still trying to catch my breath a little bit. I appreciate you guys, man, for all hanging out with us. Yeah, Marquise, I don't know, man. I know I talked to him a little bit. I talked to him a little bit earlier. I don't know exactly what's going to play out with him, man. Avery needs to be on the field. That's where he's been. Third down and 7 here for the Pitbulls. Looking left, looks back right. And that is intercepted by Kevin Funches. I don't think he's going to be caught as he gets inside the near pylon, checking back for flags. I don't see flags, and there is the defense answering. That one's for you, Coach. And you'll see, you've seen him as he got in the end zone, pointed up the sky. Man, these guys know they're playing with a lot of passion tonight. It's going to be a different. I keep telling people that there's a different feeling in the dog pound since he's been gone. It's just different, and especially since we've been in playoff type play and regional play. It's just been different. As Trey is back on again here to attempt the extra point. Snap down. It's kind of bobbled, mishit. I think there was a flag as number, I think that is 33. Kind of came across Ryan. What do they call the false start? I mean, that saved them because everything from the snap to the hold to everything was just ugly on that one. Should the defense be able to decline that?
You would think so. But
I'm not a big football guy, but
he blew the whistle first, so or simultaneously as it happens. Otherwise, that one was almost the same way.
37 yards right down the middle with about 15 yards extra to go. It's going to push us up to 14-0 here early first quarter.
Kicker made him look good on that one.
And that's why I retired, man. He started kicking. How am I supposed to back that up with my last name? Can't be doing that.
Short-handed. Get on their horses.
You know, a lot of people, you see people back down from playing the Bulldogs for whatever reason, and Pitbulls has been a team who's never once even thought about backing down and not playing a game. I've always said people always ask me all the time, so I like to stir the pot a little bit on Facebook every once in a while, not too much, but there's never been anything I can ever say bad about the Pitbulls, man. Pitbulls, when you need a game in a bind, these guys will play you, period. I don't give a damn who it is, they'll play you.
Yeah, we added, like you said, we added this game to our schedule before the season even started.
Yes, sir.
Right before the schedule actually came out, so then we had to actually redo the schedule to make sure that this game fit.
I appreciate, like I said, man, you guys have never, ever backed down from anything. As that kick is going to go out of bounds, that is a different kick. That is Patrick Baki on. Tips that ball up and out of bounds. Bring that ball out to, I believe, the 40, if I'm not mistaken, where Pitbulls will take over their next possession.
Let's talk about the leagues a little bit while we're in between this.
Let's do it.
With the HGFL going down, the Premier League right now that everyone should be talking about really is the MF, and if it should happen or not. So that's kind of what's been going around on Facebook and in the football world. In my opinion, it definitely should be. The competition is there, along with never being able to forfeit a game, and I think that's a lot of what the problem is in semi-pros. You have these teams that come out and they play when they feel like it, and they forfeit games and think there's no consequence behind it. A lot of what we do in here is we build these schedules so we can keep supporting football. When you have a forfeit, everyone loses, and a lot of teams should start understanding that, especially those that are running the leagues.
And it's especially true for a lot of new teams. A lot of new teams will pick and choose because, as sad as it is, I was even told this year that we're not going to schedule the Bulldogs because hopefully the Bulldogs can't get games in full and I can take their players. And to me, if you're going to say that as an organization, I will never respect your organization. That's just it. Football is for the guys, and if you're taking away from the guys being able to play football on the field, you're killing the whole thing. And that's why a lot of people look down on semi-pro in general, is for that mentality. That pass is caught. Looks like an 8-yard gain on an out route there.
These new teams, I believe, don't respect the history of it. And, you know, the way that semi-pro is going now is you have to play competitive football to be respected within the world of this leagues. Well, all the teams that are in these leagues. Also, you know, when these teams are creating new teams, they're looking at just getting a ring instead of trying to actually build up an organization.
That's why you see a lot of guys, well, I'm switching from team to team, and teams go down in the middle of the year. It's hard, man. I'm not saying it's tough to go out and play competitive teams and take a beat down every week. It's extremely tough, but it builds character. And for us, the way I see it, it weeds out the people who are really there for the team and who really aren't there for the cause. Because the ones who aren't really wanting to be competitive are going to leave. They're going to go find something different to do.
And that's where flag comes in. Play flag.
Go do something. So, speaking of MFA, there is a MFA meeting of coaches and staff that are wanting and interested in bringing the MFA back. As I know right now, there's 8 or 9 teams that at least said they want to meet and sit around a table and hash things out. So whether the league happens or not, that's going to be found out soon, as that is a first down run up the middle, move the chains for the Pitbulls. They're still here fighting on early. 9 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock and rolling. But if you are a team that is interested in at least sitting around a table and learning what organizations do, make leagues legit and for the players. I've played personally the MFA, so MFA is the only league that I've ever played in that was built for the players. The All-Star was an All-Star draft by the players, for the players. There was an All-Star banquet, the whole 9 yards. All-Star, the huddle was there. All-Star jerseys were there. Everything was for the players, specifically for the players, designed that way. So. You know, a lot of these leagues, you see guys who are like, oh, I put in my league fees, and I put in my team dues, and I did this and this and this, and I still had to drive myself to games, and I didn't get jerseys, and I didn't get all-star jerseys, and I didn't get banquets, and I didn't get this or that, you know what I mean? And then you got teams like Pitbulls or Bulldogs, Cyclones, they're taking team buses or team vans for transportation, which is huge in this game. Is a lot of guys won't travel because they don't want to drive on their own vehicle. So having, I don't care what it is, if you rent vans, buses, whatever it is, a way to transport your players is huge in this league. He's got a crease. That's going to go a long ways as Tyrone Groves tracks him down. That was a little reverse play. Pitbull's already digging into the bag of tricks. Take them all the way down inside the 30. Looks like they're marking down about the 29-yard line. Pitbulls are still in it here. Coach Hester's in the chat talking. For those of you who don't know, Coach Hester is a longtime coach, not just for the Bulldogs, but football in general, from arena to indoor to 8-man to 11-man. He's actually nominated as a Hall of Fame for the Minor League Football Report Hall of Fame this year.
Outside of it.
And he'll be making his way to Las Vegas, I want to say in November, and to be inducted and accept his invitation into the Minor League Football Report Hall of Fame. So shout out to Coach Hester. As for this new running back, I think that is the Vipers helmet on.
No, that was
I hate that helmet.
Ronnie Burgosmeyer.
Hey, he is eating his defense up right now. So whatever they're doing is working. Look, I'm gonna let you take this one. So Corey fought.
Who's this one
So
from?
Corey dropped a question to me. Obviously, the organization in St. Louis has a power trio. What would the power trio be in KC? I'm saying the Bulldogs.
Well, actually, that's funny because
were
David and
talking
I
about
were
that
just talking about that, and that's the whole thing. We're trying to brand and become a brand. If other teams, and I'll say this live, if other teams actually lowered their ego just a tad bit and did that, you would have a trio in Kansas City. And I'm gonna say this: David and I are trying to put a state game together, but we can't do that because he has no partners in Kansas City.
Nobody wants to play.
Nobody wants to play alongside them, and try to build a team. Unlike there in Missouri, we've been able to put aside our differences. The Cyclones and the Pitbulls and even the Chargers were a huge rivalry in Missouri. The MW Lions are getting started. You have the Eagles there and the Cougars, and a lot of those guys will come together if there's a state game to play against Kansas City. And I think it'll be a great idea to have a traveling trophy, and you play that game to continue the build of just the semi-pro brand in general.
So the whole state championship, that kind of came around as, if you guys follow semi-pro at all, teams are states like California, Arizona, Arkansas, Colorado. They all have multiple leagues, and the league champions all get in a tournament at the end of the year, and they crown one state champion, kind of like a high school type thing. And to me, that's something that that's the next platform that semi-pro and at least Missouri need to go into that next step. That's the next step to keep giving these guys and build competition. Keep letting these guys get out of their shell and brand that name.
Yeah. And the thing is that you have to create incentives. No one is getting paid or making $1 million off of building these teams. You have to make new attractions for the players. David's been around for a long time, and he's sitting here doing media because football is something that he loves to do. If we're not creating any incentives, then what's next for these guys? Can they get in the end zone here?
Oh, fumbles the ball, but
They said he's down.
He's down. That's going to be. He's close to the sticks, but they're finding some holes right now in the run game.
And that's Jordan Barnes. He's a longtime running back, also a corner, and he can run the ball. I'm not sure why he didn't a whole lot in the game against the Stampede and other games, but could be that we're short.
Looks like a 3rd down and 1. I thought he got to the sticks. I thought it was 1st and goal, but he's got 3 on the board, about a yard short. So here we go, 3rd down. I believe they're in 4-down territory. I don't foresee him switching things up.
1st down.
1st and goal coming up for Missouri Valley. So this is what I like to see when we talk about teams who have been improving. Right, a lot of teams back away from good competition, but Pitbulls. 2 years ago, they played the Bulldogs twice, and I think it was 70-something to 0 and another 70-something to 3. Over the course of 4 games, it's been 214 to 3. And usually, when they get scored on quick, a lot of teams they pack it in and they're done for the night. You've seen Pitbulls; they've taken this ball almost 70 yards now after getting punched in the mouth twice, and they're still running it straight down their throat. That's the improvement that new organizations have, and that tells me this team isn't scared and they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and it shows that this is how they really should play all year. The other thing is that the downside to this team is they play down the competition. That's another reason that we want to go back to the MFA. There was always great games in MFA. Not a whole lot of blowouts, but you get tough games. And, they had nothing to really look forward to in the HGFL. You knew the games that you were going to play. You knew that you didn't have to practice hard to beat those teams. And, that's what happened to us.
It hurts you in the long run. It really does.
I mean, there's no reason to be in a league like that. I'm glad the Stockmen are actually doing really well, and they're finding success and playing in the league, the way that they're playing.
This is where Bulldogs kind of tightened down the hatchets a little bit against the Bears. Bears were able to drive the field there early, got into 1st and goal, and then stalled out. So I don't know if the Pitbulls brought a kicker. I don't know if kicking is on their mind. It is 3rd down and goal from the 5. I think they're going to be in 2-down territory here. I don't know.
I think today it's going to be all or nothing. So they're going to go for it. It should be 4-down territory when you're playing a team as Bulldogs.
3rd and goal here from the 5. Trips to the far side. It looks like single to the near side. Looking left. Still looking left. He's got a lot of time. Now the pocket collapses.
He got touchdown. Touchdown.
The pass was deflected for a tip drill. Looks like the ball's on the ground. The back ref calls incomplete. Side ref calls touchdown. They're talking about it right now. They're going to call pass interference. Can't call pass interference on a tip ball.
Has to be one or the other.
Well, either way, it was a touchdown. You can't call pass interference on a tip ball. The back judge came in and said it was an incomplete pass. Side guy came in and said he caught it. Right now, we have a 14-6 ball game. Waiting to see an official signal. Mo steps out to the middle here, the white hat. He's going to have the official signal. Tip pass.
Touchdown.
Ball is caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Pitbulls.
That play took a long time to develop.
And it's the old scramble drill.
Yeah, some things happen on scrambles like that.
Looks like they're going to stay in and go for 2 here.
Got to go upfield.
That is going to be no good. So, one thing I'm going to point out, man. So, we talked about it earlier. Pitbulls and Bulldogs aren't an unfamiliar opponent of each other. So, in history, Bulldogs struggle against teams that can run the ball effectively. So, not just anybody can come out and run the ball, but teams that plan to run the ball and run effectively have a lot of success against the Bulldogs. So, last week when you saw the Bears, number 5 team in the country, come in and they struggle to run, they're a very one-dimensional team. So if you can play a balanced pass and run effectively, the Bulldogs struggle, and I promise you the Pitbulls know it from the MFA days, and they're attacking it. Teams that set up with 2 or 3 running backs and they're all-out run, Bulldogs usually shut it down. But if you can put 1 running back in with 4 wide receivers and still keep a balanced run, effective run, you're going to see a lot of success right against the Bulldogs. And Pitbulls know it, and they're exploiting it right now. Cole. So Cole looks like I don't know if he's going to get any reps tonight. It's good to see him back. He's been out with an ACL tear literally from the 2nd game of the year. So he's been out for a few months. So he's making his way into the locker room. We'll see if he gets on the field tonight. As again, it's all or nothing. It's regional football.
I was actually glad to see what they did there. We have a makeshift line. We'll never create excuses. We have injuries have killed us, this year, this time of year. Normally, everyone's trying to heal up. So,
No poke action.
Let's see what we get the rest of the night.
He's got a seam down the right-hand side. Kicker. See, that's what I like to see. Kicker sees he's going out of bounds. He could have hit him heavy, but he knows there's metal benches right there, so he eases up and kind of escorts him out of bounds. Again, that's these two teams having a lot of respect for each other, not trying to hurt each other. That is something that a lot of teams on Saturday, you don't see that.
Yeah, they're flying into the benches.
100%. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Opening quarter, and so far in the dog pound, there's a dog fight. Like Bulldogs are having a little miscommunication right now in the huddle. Usually they get the call and they're rolling. So little miscommunication. So far, I've only seen one back in. It's Lamont Connor standing to Josh's White. Twin split near and far side. Pitbull's showing a little bit of pressure here to see if they back out or bring the house. And they're going to bring everybody. Woo! A little shot to the chops. Number 12 there from the Pitbulls. Looks like he came down from maybe a corner or linebacker spot. Thinking corner because all the linebackers went. Gain of about 6 there. 2nd and 4. Doug White sitting down here in the number 1 jersey trying to figure out what the call is. Clock is now at 3 minutes and rolling here in the first quarter. Job, I do not see Job today, no. Josh looking right, quick pass.
Oh, that was one right
There's the flag coming. It looked like he kind of got a tug on the jersey and spun him around a little bit.
He's speaking about Joe Bowie.
No, Job.
Oh.
With ours. Job. He's the running back. He coaches. He's one of the coaches for the the Kansas City Outlaws, the youth program. Andrew in here, Mr. Run Left. So I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's a Run Left podcast, the Semi-Pro podcast, and those are good friends of mine. That's Andrew. He's in the chat. He runs that Semi-Pro.
There's always a running joke with our offensive linemen. It's the play be called right. A right call for the running backs, but they say run left always. Our right side used to always get mad about that. They want some work on that side.
Hey, as they say, every Run Left podcast, man, when they close out the podcast, is if you want that tutty, run left. Have you seen that? Have you listened to the podcast yet?
I have not. I've not had a chance to do a whole lot of anything. Being the new president, man, there's been a lot of changes, a lot of new things that we're doing, as you see. It's just been busy. Like, football never ends.
So much for an off season, huh?
Hopefully we have a great off season.
Whenever that off season comes around. Juan in the chat. Yeah, hey, Run Left, man. I highly suggest you check him out as he throws that off his back foot. Touchdown. Is that DK? I heard some whistles. I'm looking for a flag. I don't see a flag. Touchdown inside that far pylon.
Joe got hit with a stutter step there. Double move got Joe.
That's them
Caught him
old tired
standing
legs, man.
Caught him standing still. What's up, Twan? Is he in here?
Yeah, Twan's right here. Shout out to Run Left Podcast. Yeah, so I would highly suggest, man. So every Sunday, these guys get together. There's 2 of them that run the show. And they'll have guest speakers on or whatever, and they'll call teams out 100% for their bullshit. Like, if you're scared to play teams or whatever the case is, all the bullshit that you see these leagues, like the UCFL, they just opened up rosters for playoffs, but had them locked all year. So, whether that was right, wrong, or indifferent, the Run Left podcast, so they film every Sunday night, and they'll release that show every Monday. So I listen to it literally every Monday on my ride to work. That's what I have, as that kick is up, right, down the middle, off the roof. And good.
There's Quentin Carr in there in that chat also. Quentin Carr, that's the guy. He doesn't like people running left.
Don't run left, he says. Yeah, hey, go on to Facebook, type in Run Left. They'll pop up, man. I shout those guys out. They're really good friends of mine. He's in the chat talking right now. They post, and I usually share it to my Outlaws on my Facebook page. I usually share it every Monday morning. The last episode was really good. It was actually talking about the MFA, why the MFA folded, what happened behind the scenes, and what the future looks like for the MFA. So if you really want to see some insight, because a lot of the players get shielded from a lot of it, and they don't understand what goes on. So if you want the actual inside, no BS, no shots withheld, man, it's right there. Run Left.
That's a good call out because I had a lot of players asking, well, why did they fold? Why did they quit when all the other leagues were popping up? And people don't understand the MFA is actually pretty hard to get into because if you have traits of folding in the middle of the season or having any games forfeited, you know that's a bad stigma that your team's going to carry.
We're not going to let you in. Is that, let me take it. So Baron Bradshaw is back in the dog pound. Those of you who are checking it out, Baron Bradshaw is officially back. He has not played since the national championship game. So the last time he has touched the field was the national championship game. He's been on the roster all year. He just took a hiatus. He had his firstborn child, a little boy. He's actually in the stands. I think I saw him a little bit earlier. So he's been enjoying being a first-time father, man. Like we said, it's always bigger than football. So he's enjoying being a first-time father, but he is back tonight in the dog pound. So, yep, he is down there rocking a number 13 somewhere.
He's sitting here right in front of us.
Is he?
Yeah, he's right here.
There he is. Yeah, I can't see with the ledge. So, yeah, so MFA, why they're taking a little water break here. If you want to go, I don't want to take too much thunder away from the run left guys, but a lot of behind the scenes, when you get to our level and you start understanding the politics and you're involved in the politics behind the scenes and trying to make stuff happen, especially this regional tournament, as you've seen already, the headaches that it causes to try to get things moving and all these teams on the same page is horrendous. But long story short, the MFA had teams drop out the last second that said that they can't compete and don't want to compete in that league. And it left us with 3 teams. The Omaha Stockman being a new owner this year in Omaha, he panicked and wanted to make sure his guys had a league to play in and didn't want to sit and wait to see what would happen. So he jumped ship and went to the UCFL, the Stockman, which, hey, no harm to the Stockman, man. I don't have any bad feelings to Stockman. He did what he thought was right for his young players as a brand new owner. So he kind of got thrown into the fire and made a split-second decision. So that left the Blaze and the Bulldogs kind of out in the wind. And there was some talks about merging with another league here and there, and it just wasn't going to happen on a 3 weeks notice. So Blaze went their 9-man route, won the championship. Bulldogs are over here independent doing their thing because they tried to go UCFL and were told they can't get in. Titans, to be 100% honest, they were told if Titans would allow us in the league, they would allow us. Titans said no. We tried to go MFL. MFL said that's the price you pay for being too good, and you call us a JV league. You guys can't get in, so Bulldogs went independent. That's the short scoop on the MFA. Right, wrong, or indifferent, man. There it is.
Yeah, COVID killed a lot of things.
COVID rocked everybody's.
I know the first year of COVID for the Pitbulls, we ran the entire league out of Lutheran High School. Everyone played their home games at Lutheran High School, whether if we were there or not. Shout out to Lutheran for letting us do that last year, and it's been a really good relationship with Lutheran High School. Now letting us run, well, they let us run 2 teams this year out of Lutheran High School.
Speaking of that, we'll have to ask. So regionals, let me watch this play real quick. Quick pass out. They're kind of getting that quick passing game. Looks like Bulldogs are kind of getting on top of it now. But so regionals wanted to hold a doubleheader. Whoever wins this goes on to play the 10-0 Missouri Cyclones. It was supposed to be the winner of this plays the Cyclones in a night game, and then the First City Cavalry takes on the Jackson Stampede out of Tennessee in the early game. And they're wanting to host it at the same stadium. So it's sounding like we're in the same chat trying to make it work. It doesn't sound like we're going to be able to get that game in St. Louis. So there was talked about moving it to possibly Columbia, if I'm not mistaken, with the Vipers.
Yeah, Columbia.
And I talking to Marshall, who's running the Marshall's program down there, or running the Vipers program. We're struggling to get any word back from those, so he's going to go down there Monday and actually talk to them. But if that's not the case, man, we'll talk off air a little bit later so we can give all these guys insight. But it might end up being 2 games, as that kick is blocked. Doesn't really matter who recovered it at this point. But it looks like it might be 2 separate games, just because at this time of the year, high schools are in full swing. With COVID coming back, it's hard to do 2 games all in one spot. So And Titans should have known. Hey, it is what it is, man. Like I said, not here to trash talk anybody. That's just what it is. Titans said they don't want the Bulldogs in the league, and that's where it left. So regionals, man, we're trying to bring a doubleheader to regionals. There was something that I know Joseph's in the chat, or he was a little bit earlier. The Jackson Stampede kind of reached out and said, hey, we'll host you guys in Tennessee. I'll tell you right now, I pitched that idea to the national committee, and they shot it down in a heartbeat. Reason being is Jackson Stampede aren't in our region, technically. They're in our region. They were allowed to join our region because their region, the team that runs their region, folded shop this year. So it kind of left them without a place to go and without a home for regionals. And so they offered them to slide over and participate in our regionals, virtue of being in the UCFL with the Pitbulls. So they want that game to be hosted in our region since it is a regional tournament. So I know he messaged me last night and said, hey, you all can come out to Jackson, Tennessee, which I appreciate the offer, big dog, but that ain't about to happen. So hopefully, ideally, that game will be hosted somewhere in St. Louis with a stadium, with a broadcast booth, so we can bring it because the national committee wants to tune in. And ideally, the Cyclones reap the benefits of that game as the only undefeated team. So that's what we're trying to get accomplished. So that takes us into the second quarter. Bulldogs leading 21-6 and threatening with a first and goal, I do believe. Ryan on the mic getting yelled at by Mo. So, man, they're talking about the regionals getting done in August this year, August 28th, the next round, and then scheduling something after that. Because last year it went into late October, early November. And as much struggles as we're running into now, it might be that way again. Because what it was is wait till high school kind of dies down a little bit. Because a lot of guys are high school coaches, high school staff, high school trainers. You know, high schools are on the field. It's tough.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the reason why that we can't have that doubleheader there at Lutheran is because of, you know, Arlen and his guys. When they step on that field, everything else becomes second.
Looks like they do have them at first and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. But that's one thing that, as hard as it was last year, this year with organizations, at least in the South bracket, with you being the president over there, with organizations that are respectable and know how to run and operate, it makes things a lot more smooth for all of us to be able to work and work together, figure out what's best, whether that game gets played in St. Louis or whether they end up moving it to Kansas City where we can host it or whatever happens. It's going to be what's most beneficial for all the teams involved rather than cussing people out. Because a lot of times you get you get semi-pro football, nothing gets done because people start cussing each other out and then disrespecting it, and it flows into something it's not. But with organizations that sit down at a table and say, hey, this is for the players, how do we make this happen, is what's going to allow this thing to happen. Kings, that's the Kings. So for those of you who aren't aware, the Kansas City Kings are a new team here out of the Independence, Oak Grove, Green Valley type area. They're going to be in the KC Land Fall League that the Bulldogs are putting the team in. There is a lot of speculation and news as Lamont breaks a tackle and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Let me update the score, and I'm going to go back to what I was just saying. So I don't want to give it away, as we got to see that touchdown to the run left. There is a talk of doing some kind of partnership, and again, I don't want to go any deeper with the Kansas City Kings kind of coming under kind of the same situation you guys have out there in St. Louis. Is something, and I even told you guys when I met you a long time ago, is that's something I've been trying to get in Kansas City for years, and ego's gotten in the way, but it looks like there's a good possibility of this new Kansas City Kings team kind of taking and being able to do what you guys have already established out there. As Trey Betancourt comes on for the kick again. Juan, how many teams are in? Bro, I don't even know, honestly.
Is that how many teams are in Kansas City?
How many teams are in Kansas? With the new fall league, off the top of my head, Titans, Bulldogs, Panthers, Calvary, KC Legion, as that kick is right down the middle again. How many is that? 5? Give me a second. Legion, Kings. That's 6.
Venom? Is that out here?
Venom's in Topeka. So 6. I think there's another KC team. Oh, the Chiefs. That's 7. And then the MRFL, if you want to count them, you got the Militia, the Reapers, the Giants. That's 10 right there.
Are all those teams 11 man?
All of them are 11 man. Yep. But 4 of those play in the MRFL, which we all consider kind of a rec league. They only play on Sundays, and it's a Kansas City only league with no traveling, and they play doubleheaders every Sunday. Running clock type ordeal. It's ran extremely well. Probably the best organization running wise that I've seen. Like, they have fan check-ins in one spot, player check-ins in one spot. You have to be rostered to be able to even let in the stadium. Fans only on the field with security. Like, it's very well ran. They got the VFW out there, but it's built for players to get playing time without having to travel. Because I mean, it's expensive to do what we do at this level on Saturdays. That ball checks up. Militia on the clock for the Kings. So I did hear that there is a Militia and Kings are getting a little scrimmage in tomorrow. So I mean, those are the new teams that are trying to build and do things right. Hey, I ran out of fingers, man. I stopped at 10. And that's part of what we were talking about earlier. Off air, I was talking about if you build kind of that umbrella that you guys have, you can start building teams correct and then weeding out all the nonsense that because you see things pop up for 2 or 3 games and disappear. Then they rebrand and come back as something else. Kind of like a quick money grab. And I don't want to call it a money grab, but what else do you call it?
Yeah, I don't want to call it a money grab because I don't know the folks that are doing that. But I mean, the teams pop up, then they fold after 2 or 3 games, and it just doesn't make any sense. And then by that time, we're at roster lock.
Yeah.
And players have spent their money and they can't go anywhere.
Or you got the teams that only play home games and they refuse to travel. So now you got games getting canceled on Thursday night, and you're losing your thousands of dollars that you spent to reserve the field. You don't get any concessions to get money back, as there's a flag there on the far side.
Great thing about this game, the refs don't have to do that much work.
How many of these teams are going to be here next year? Most fold, and their players switch up. So here's the thing, man. A lot of those teams that I just named, probably about 6 that I just named, are either Sunday or fall league teams. So with that being the case, the Sunday league, they're allowed to roster just a handful of semi-pro guys that play on Saturdays. So it doesn't really hurt. A lot of those guys don't really want to travel and spend the finances. So that doesn't really hurt and count against the Saturday teams. So they'll be around. And then like the KC Land guys and some of those, I don't know what their plans are next year, but I know they're designed to be a fall league. So that won't really interfere with what we're seeing now, these guys on Saturday and regionals.
Face mask?
I think that's what they call the face mask. So that won't really interfere with the fall as well. But the Kings and the KC Land guys, they may join a league like the MFL next year. So I don't know what their future is. Again, there's some work being done with the Kings and the Bulldogs, some business moves being made, and we'll address those later. Everything kind of got put on hold with the passing of Coach Dukes, so all the attention has kind of been on that and the big national game that we had against the Bears. So we haven't had time to kind of sit around the table and kind of eat and discuss business future, but there is some stuff in the works there. 2nd down and 10 as the shade is finally starting to roll across the field.
Hey, next time we come to Kansas City, we're going to play a night game at 9 o'clock with the lights on.
Now, every time you guys come to town, it's blistering, but it's not as hot as it has been the last few days. About 20 degrees cooler, actually.
But that's up here. On the field, it's a different temperature.
3 women's. Hey, I know the KC Glory, and the KC Glory. You're going to have to tell me what else are out there. So Kansas City Glory is the women's professional team. I do believe there's a St. Louis women's team. I don't think they're in the same league, but there is a
There's St. Louis Slam. So they're actually pretty good. They've won a couple of championship titles there. The thing is you know what we run into with them is that they're not getting any exposure.
Yeah. So what I think they need to do is join this. So the Glory join this. The women's. It's a professional league. Like they just had their playoff game down in Alabama in Birmingham, like, or maybe it was Atlanta, Georgia, one of those two, something with an A. But they have national exposure. I went to the Glory game, and I got there 10 minutes before kickoff, and there's probably about 200 fans still in line to get in.
Oh, wow.
They had buses, they had people tailgating in the parking lot, and that stadium had probably 1,500, 2,000 fans in it, and they do it big. They have laminated rosters. They have flyers that, like when you go to games, you got like the rosters of both teams printed on a card. They got all that. They do it absolutely huge, so maybe they need to look into getting that. What you call it? Oh, trust me, I remember. We got videos of all the bloopers with you in it. Fourth down, he's gonna try to shake the tackle. He got across the sticks. He got enough for the first down, I think. So that's what we're talking about earlier. It's regional football. They're in it to win it. They're gonna pull out everything they can. They're not gonna. I doubt you see a punt team on the Pitbulls come out tonight. I mean, not in this situation. Lady Saints, Storm. Slam is WFA because they are scared of Dallas.
Everyone's scared of Dallas, right?
Hey, Dallas with the big ladies. Man, I thought they had to call the EMT. That Glory game I went, one of the Dallas running backs came around the side, and she went to stiff arm, and she came away with the helmet, and I thought she, like, ripped the girl's head off and was running with the helmet. She took off running with it. My wife's going to make fun of me for the way I say helmet, though. I'm just going to ignore it. Atlanta, that's where the game was. But we're talking about organizations, man, like egos getting out of the way and trying to help each other out. Like, for those of you that don't know, who missed it earlier, Dwayne is up here he's the president of what's going on in St. Louis for the whole football. What do you guys call it? What's the official title?
Of my title or just the team? We haven't
had your title, and what do you guys call
We haven't really
the little umbrella out there?
We haven't really titled the umbrella. We just keep everything separate. It's the Missouri Cyclones, Missouri Valley Pitbulls, and now the MW Lions. I mean, I have no idea what we're going to call it.
I've been calling it the St. Louis football umbrella. That's what I call it.
Well, Twan gave us the name St. Louis of everybody, or St. Louis versus everybody. So we'll go with that title for now.
Okay. That's more of a slogan, but oh, that's LG. Who's always ready to deliver a big hit. Him and them two go back and forth. So, but I watched the replay. Woo!
That was Ronnie taking a hit, taking a big hit.
Them two know each other too. Titans did become the Glory. Lady Titans became the Kansas City Glory.
Yeah, what we're doing over there in St. Louis again is we brought these teams under an umbrella, and to try to coach up all the players that are on all these teams and have a team that can actually compete at a level of similar to what we're doing now. I mean, these two teams know each other. We haven't beat the Bulldogs, but we always come to compete, whether we have this many guys or we have a full roster. So
again, this is never a team that's going to back down from anything. As they are picking the Bulldogs apart on these little out routes, and this is what bugged me, and I remember I sent the other Dwayne messages when they were playing the Stampede. Stampede is a team that loads the box. So Calvary, if you're in the chat, listen up. I've played them. I've seen them. Stampede are going to load the box. Whether they bring the box or not, they're going to load it. And you can get them on out routes, quick slants. Pitbulls did not do that when they played in that championship game. I don't know why. But they're doing a great job of it right now.
We didn't do a lot of things.
This is true.
There's a lot of things we left off the table in that game.
I appreciate you for tuning in, man. So what we're talking about, the organization-wise, like what you guys are doing out there, and it comes down to getting rid of egos and helping teams build. So, again, for those of you guys don't know, he's in the booth tonight learning because they want to take what we're doing here and take it to Kansas City and kind of build their brand. And as soon as he messaged me, man, I had no hesitation. Come in the booth. I'll teach you everything that we were doing. I'll show you what equipment we have.
Catch. Batman in the end zone.
Touchdown. Okay. In traffic. Look, Dorsey, the Reaper, is sitting down. He is livid. I like it. Pitbulls are not going to give up on this. But that goes down to getting the egos out of the way and doing what's best for football in general, man. And if it's learning how to broadcast and learning, because we do, I like to call it a cheap broadcast because we keep it semi-pro at a semi-pro price tag. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We talk
and that's
about
what we discussed. Yep.
So The second you guys said, I want to come up and learn, man, there was zero hesitation. Come up, grab the mic. There's going to be times I'm going to walk away and the mic's going to be your show tonight.
I think I called you at what, almost 9:30 at night?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, what are you guys doing? And you go, well, that's my wife's thing.
Yeah, 100%.
She does that. And I was like, all right, well, you know, when can I get up there? And it just went from there. I mean, it's something that we've been trying to do. Some of the guys seen the Cyclones guys live.
I don't think that was the intended target, but the result is 2 points.
Some folks seen the Cyclones game live, but the prices were outrageous and they kept changing every time that, you know, every game. So they started out with one price. Then about time they did the game and the excerpts of the game and the film and all those things, we're end up out of pocket almost $400.
Yeah.
So it didn't.
And then a lot of these
serve its
guys want you to
purpose.
pay for their travel and pay for the hotels and
Oh yeah.
all kinds of craziness. So we try to do, and the issue with a lot of those guys is nothing against the way they do business, but they rent, you know, they've got a studio somewhere. So they've got employees they've got to pay. They've got studio rental fees they've got to pay. So all that gets handed down to us, who's the buyer. We've got to purchase the product, but you're eating all the cost of their overhead costs. So the way my wife does it, as you see, man, it's just me and her. So you cut out a lot of those costs and you just keep it at a semi-pro level. And it allows me, a lot of broadcasts you see, they don't interact with the chat. For me, semi-pro broadcast is all about the entertainment and the experience, which is why I have the chat up here so we can entertain with these guys.
I wish people can actually see it though. I feel like we're in TNT studios because Rachel has us set up really good, and it's not an expensive setup. I mean, everything, she ran down prices with me earlier before the game started. Showed me how the camera and stuff works, the laptop, the iPad, everything, the little keyboard that you guys have, the apps.
And then we've got, at halftime, we'll do a little show, but we do have a booth cam we can bring up and do booth interviews right here. So we're seeing right here, they're talking about doing some sideline interviews.
Yeah.
This is a big investment for us initially to get all the equipment to get started. It's kind of an investment with two people. But as we start recouping what we put into it, we're going to start growing this. And the next step is, like we were talking about earlier, you can add extra cameras. So the vision is to add cameras on the sidelines, cameras in the end zone that we can swap to right up here. Eventually, we want to get mics that we can mic up, maybe Dorsey or Tyrone or somebody on the field and get them mic'd up and bring it to you up here. So that's the vision for where we want to go, but we've got to start slow. Again, because we don't want to – I'm not in the business of taking a price and passing it off to these guys because we've all trying to do the same thing. So as low as I can keep the price is exactly what we're going to do. So we've got to figure out slowly – how to do that without you guys eating the cost of what we're trying to do.
And the other thing is that again, David,
yes,
you guys are out in the community because from what you were explaining to me is that you were doing middle school games and it's and other sports, which I have teams where their families can't get to the games. You know, something is keeping them at home, or they, you know, family in different states. You don't know how someone's situation is, so by doing this, you're providing that, you know, that game to someone, you know, that couldn't be there.
Oh, Ryan. He said mic up Ryan. So
we got some guys that would be great on the mic. I mean, but I don't think you would want to hear what they have to say.
So that's the funniest part. Like you've seen the broadcast. I bring teams that up in the booth, like the Cavalry guys are hilarious. Bring them up in the booth because everyone knows the Cavalry for they've kind of adopted that Oakland Raiders old school bad boys mentality, and they've ran with it, right? They're the bad boys of the league. They talk a lot. They back it up. They're going to do a lot of stuff to get under your skin on and off the field. By having them in the booth, they're a completely different person. So you kind of got to like urge the trash talk back out of them because it's what they do on the field and on Facebook. You know, it's different. They're not that person in reality. As Josh is pissed, something happened on the snap. But that's the entertainment side. I want people to understand, like, the personalities of semi-pro, like, we need a reality show.
What we're trying to do, though, overall, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, is build the brand of semi-pro and give people what it really looks like.
And then DK is wide open. He that was the old school fake. He ran to the sideline like he was talking to the coach and then ran into the end zone. He was standing at the sideline talking to the coach like he was coming off the field. So the corner went in. he did that against the Bears and it worked. I don't know why it works, but he does it
I'm about
every
to see
time.
that replay.
So I will bring it up. So what he does is, I don't even know how to bring the replay up on this one, but I'll bring it up later. So what he does is he walks down the sideline and while the coach is yelling at him. They walk like 15 yards yelling at each other. And he's literally on the hashes. But the last second, he lines up and goes. Because the corner sees him coming out and then goes in. And he's done it that twice, and both times have been for 50-some-odd yard touchdowns. Every time.
Got to stay ready.
But there's a lot of guys who have a lot of knowledge of the semi-pro game that you can put on a mic. And a lot of these guys don't understand, like, the knowledge that is around the game that you don't see because people get labeled like, you're a semi-pro this, like Twan. Twan is on Facebook all the time, and people either love him or hate him. There's no in between. But he has a load of knowledge, and if you put him on a mic, he's got a lot to say. He's got a lot to share. Like, those are the personalities that you need. People who are the name of, kind of like the face of the semi-pro world is who we want on the mic and kind of promoting this. Hey, Dwayne is upset about that call. He's thinking he ran in from the sideline, but he never left the field. Orlando, hey, it's been used and it's effective, man. We got that from watching the Little Giants. Put that in the playbook. And right down the middle it goes.
Pitbulls had an opportunity there. I mean, a fumbled snap, 2 fumble snaps.
He said
And then
Rob
gave
would
up
be
a big
hilarious
play.
on the mic. But again, this whole vision, it kind of started as a joke. Honestly, my wife on a Tuesday, she's like, "Hey, why don't we do a broadcast?" You know what I mean? And then Anthony Douglas, he's out here somewhere. Shout out to AD. He was like, "Hey, I think we can do it. Let's try it." And it was like a joke. Like, we were really bullshit and didn't think it was gonna pop off. And then we did it. The first game, literally on a 4 days notice.
You guys got somebody hurt?
Yeah,
he's.
that's the center. That is not good. That's Big Fred.
He didn't get up.
He's been battling some knee injuries, so it's good to see him back up and walking. Hopefully he stays out there. Big Fred, that's a long-time staple captain of the center spot there, center of the line. So and the Pitbull's clapping him off. Like, you don't see that when other teams play. They'll be cheering like, "Oh, you're this, you're that, you're weak, you're scared. Like, that's why you're leaving." That's why I like these two. It's trash TV. But so it started as a joke on a 4 days notice, right? So then we bring guys out, and Saturday goes. We had a couple of hiccups. I think it was the Panthers and Calvary game, first game we ever did, and it goes off, and people loved it. And being able to sit in a booth with guys that you don't really get to sit in the booth with and just bullshit for a couple hours around football, like this is why we do what we do. You know what I mean? And then it's kind of blossomed from there, and we've had middle school teams hit us up and high schools hit us up.
Yeah, if you had Twan up here, is he on here still?
Yeah, Twan's in there. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but he just commented a couple minutes ago.
I need him to get on the chat. Because this guy can sit here. I mean, we can, we'll both be at work, and I hope my job isn't listening, to be honest with you. But I mean, we can go 8 hours of speaking about nothing but football, and then you look up at the clock, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He's that type of person. He definitely loves the game. He's the same way. He's definitely gonna talk stuff, get under your skin, like you say. You're gonna love him or hate him.
And he really does. Me and him cannot talk because I like to stir the pot, and he stirs the pot. So every time me and him get going on Facebook, we go in circles every time for hours. And then everyone's like, "These two hate each other. They're gonna fight." And they start bringing in people's family, and it's hilarious. I'm like, it's really not. There he is.
Hey, it's not that serious. Did he put the big eyes, or he just?
Did.
Yeah, that's his thing, man. Whenever he comes on,
And then a little cigarette emoji.
Yeah, and a cigarette emoji, or that's my guy, though, man. He can sit there and talk to you about football, and you'll be like, "Where in the hell did the day go?"
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's one of them great minds when it comes to just talking about football, and it doesn't matter what team you come from, and I can attest to that. And it doesn't matter if you played against him. If he played against you the week before, after, he's going to talk to you about football and what you did wrong, what you can do to get better, and it's up to you to do it. And he talks to his players like that.
He said,
So
me and David got about 10 minutes of messages back and forth before it gets crazy. And it's hilarious because behind the scenes, me and him will instant message each other. Like, we'll talk about what's going on, like what we need to do to better the game. We'll talk about regionals. But on Facebook, like, as LG gets the pick, pitches it back to Tyrone Groves. Tyrone get them 40-year-old legs moving inside the 10. But it's funny, on Facebook, he'll stir the pot a little bit, and I'll get it going. And then people feed into it and take it completely into left field, and me and him will stop commenting. It happens every time me and him comment on anything. But getting him in the booth would be hilarious. Hopefully, if we can get a doubleheader scheduled, or maybe if we get the 2 games and they're on different days and we get out there, we'll bring the broadcast out and get Twan up in the booth and let you guys just have a field day with it. There is a flag down at the 5-yard line. Appreciate the broadcast. I actually watched film because, bro, you've been around long enough. If you ain't watching film before my broadcast, you got big issues, big dog.
Twan watches film.
I'm talking about Peyton. That boy's been around football longer than I've been alive.
I was gonna say, I know Twan watches film. He can break down film with the best of them.
So here, Mo is stepping out of the huddle, waiting for an official call. I think it's going to be after the interception. Looks like it's on the Bulldogs because he's meeting with the Pitbulls. Excuse me. My wife keeps smacking me because I keep slamming my elbows on the table. So at halftime, man, we're going to play a little bit of music so we can get some water and do our thing. And then maybe if we got some time, I'll bring up the booth cam. And we'll have a little fun with it. We do have a booth cam. What it does, man, it just literally puts us in the screen up in the corner. They can watch the halftime, do what they do, and we can sit and kind of bullshit for a little bit. That's what I'd like to see, Twan and those guys. Like, the people who are personalities of semi-pro. There's the emoji.
There's nothing Duce can't fix for Twan.
Waiting to see where the new guys. So the left tackle is new, rookie this year. The center that just went in to replace the injured is new. Ryan, that's our backup quarterback at right tackle now. I'm looking. 2 of the receivers on the far side are new, and the receiver here on the new side are all rookies as well. I'm waiting to see some of these rookies that we picked up on the Sunday League this year kind of get their reps is what I'm waiting to see. I'm hoping we get to see some of it. Yeah, number 50 right here, rookie. 43 right out of high school, rookie. For 8, rookie. Number 19, rookie.
That's the hard part. I mean, I see a lot of you guys rookies and they look disciplined. That's the hard part of getting guys out of high school that actually want to be coached and want to be disciplined.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually the first broadcast we did this year in the Dog Pound. His coach is actually on the mic. Josh is under pressure. He's running. And if you guys aren't in the booth, so you're going to hear my voice kind of move a little bit. The freaking monster pillar right in front of my face, and I can't see anything.
Hey, Lutheran and some other schools out in St. Charles County need to come and look at how these booths are. You're going to have to post the ones that you have video of.
Yeah, I'll post it. The Shawnee Mission North Stadium is absolutely the best stadium I've ever been in. Elevators, little screen.
Good open field tackle.
Thing, little miscommunication on the block. Let's try to go outside. Running back went inside. But definitely a good open field tackle there, saving 6 points. It is a first down, though. Someone passes 6. This game is on Madden. So that's a good sight to see. Fred is checking back into the game. Timeout. Bulldogs. Lederic's going to switch that back out to the right-hand side. I'm going to take a timeout, get some water, and we'll see you guys on the other side of this break. As we are back here with the 1st and goal call. Twins to the near side, Twins to the far side. Josh looks right. He's got heavy pressure coming from the backside. He's standing in the pocket. That ball I thought it got knocked loose. Was able to hold it. There was heavy pressure. I don't know if that was a blitz from the backside or that was just a blown coverage, but somebody came in
Yeah, it was
absolutely
definitely
untouched.
delayed. It was a delayed blitz, it looked like. It was the first one we ever ran.
Is there a flag? I think there was I can't. Oh, there's a flag on the far side. Hard to see. It's right on the 10. I don't know if that was. Looks like the receivers. I'm gonna assume the receiver wasn't set because all the receivers are talking to the ref. So
You know, the receivers are always right.
there it is. Flag waved off. I think what happened was the far side ref called the flag on the near side receiver, so they're waving it off. I think is what's going on.
The receivers are always open and they're always right.
Hey, I don't care if that receiver is triple coverage. What do they say? Just throw it.
Just throw me the ball.
Throw it. You see that?
Yeah.
So Mo is one of the most respected refs, man. He's been allowing this game a long, long time. I think he's in the Hall of Fame for referees. Now he coaches a lot of these young guys, so you'll see a lot of guys go back and forth like that. He actually had a medical scare. I think it was 2 years ago now. We didn't know if he was ever going to make it back onto a field, so it's really good to see him back out there. Again, it's our second time having him this year. We haven't had him coach our ref since 2019.
We have a guy like that. He refs. It's Coach Calvin.
Josh doesn't like what he sees. He's doing a little audible call there at the line. Switching things up on a second down. Immediately quick pass to the right. Pitbulls are rallying, but it's a big receiver, hard to take down. Back inside the 10. Looks like they got him just outside the 5-yard line to bring up a 3rd down and goal. Clock is still continuing to roll. 2 minutes and 20 seconds are rolling here in the second quarter.
Guy looks like a tight end lined up on the side.
It is.
Is?
We don't use tight ends, so they all get refs on the outside. He's a rookie as well. These are guys that you're going to see. A lot of guys you'll see now are going to be the guys who are in the fall league with the rookie guys. A lot of the young guys. Baron Bradshaw's back. Looking right. Here comes that pressure again. Just gets the ball away, and that is DK's 3rd of the night. Somebody better slow him down.
We're just losing that guy on every play.
He's been a long time staple around the semi-pro. So when I say rookie, I mean Bulldog rookie. So he was with the old Oklahoma Thunder. He was an MVP on the Thunder squad, I do believe. He played with the Bears in Oklahoma for a little bit. He actually was their quarterback on their national championship game when they played Detroit Ravens. He played with the Tulsa Gators. This last year, he was with the Monstars that knocked off the Gators, and then he just moved to Kansas City about 3.5, maybe 4 months ago. So he was at our practices, but he wanted to finish up the season with them. So now that their season's officially over, he's been here. So he's not a rookie by any means, but he's rookie to us.
Hey, for anyone listening on the stream that's part of St. Louis football, tell people to stop texting me and asking me for scores. If they're not watching, that's not my fault. I'm not texting back any scores.
PAT is good. So again, that's the hardest part about me being in the booth, man. So you'll see me keep checking my phone. My phone goes off non-freaking stop. But people are like, what's the link? What's this? What's that? I'm like, bro.
It's right there.
You know
and
it.
And they be on Facebook all the time. So we know you see the link. Just open the link up, watch it, or don't watch it. But I'm not texting any scores today. The last 2 series, we gave those series away. Those are big time drives that we should have been able to hold them on.
Uh-oh, a little UCFL update. Looks like the Titans of Kansas City are going to rep the city and head back to the championship game as they knocked off the Nebraska Bobcats. As a lot of teams thought Bobcats were going to the championship. Not today, but here, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the Titans did this last year. Rosters opened up for playoffs. They added a lot of people just for the playoff push. I don't want to say that's what's happening again, but they are going to run into the Omaha Stockmen in the championship game, which I don't see anybody in that league slowing the Stockmen down. Again, an old MFA team. But again, I thought Calvary were going to win the MFL this year, and I had to eat my words on that one. So we'll see. Shout out to the Titans, repping Kansas City, though, heading back to the championship game. He gets that up to about the 26-yard line. Pitbulls will take over the next possession as Dwayne is over here playing Russian roulette with his phone, it looks like. His phone is going absolutely nuts up here. Hey, if you play for the Pitbulls or Cyclones, someone take the link and share it in one of your team pages. I know y'all got team pages. So that's the hardest part about being up in the booth, man. Is it like when you got an operation going and you're trying to do 30 other things.
Yeah, our phones go crazy all day anyway. I mean, just like you got the updates for what just happened here, Titans and the Stockman. What do you think? What do you got on that? Let's put it out in the
opinion.
Let's put it out in the chat before we give any updates in.
Hey, shout out to Juice Coleman. He's with the First City Cavalry. He'll be getting ready for a regional matchup against the Jackson Stampede. So Dwayne wants to know, drop it in the chat. It looks like I'm gonna look for some updates on the Stockman game. I don't have it, so I could be eating my own words.
I think they got a bye. Or no, it's semi. It's the semifinal. So
yep, Stockman played tonight. So I think it's Stockman, Titans possibly the final. So drop in the chat what y'all think. He wants to see some score predictions. Let's do it. The best part about semi-pro, we create a little drama on the fly. Stockman win 35. Hey, appreciate it. Stockman win 35-20. So there it is. Or is that your prediction? Is that the game from tonight, or is that your prediction? Let me do some homework and see if I can't find out what the Stockman game was.
Does another prediction come in?
No, he said that was his prediction right there.
Okay.
That was a little miscommunication there.
Yeah.
He wanted the out route, receiver ran the up route. That's my prediction. All right. So Stockman played the Warhawks. I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking.
Is that where are they out of? Are they Iowa?
Yeah, way up in Iowa. Andrew, you're my go-to, man. What the heck? Where's the score at? So it looks like Titans won 22-6. So that, again, it tells me, I don't want to say it, but it's semi-pro, and I'm going to say what it is. It looks like, so I'm seeing 42-6 in the chat now. Woo! Prediction, so 22-6 tonight was the score. Bobcats lost to the Titans. The Titans did not do that their first game or their second game. So it kind of looks like, again, but you're with the roster opening for playoffs, you're allowed to do it.
I have a guy with a helmet on.
A lot of these defensive linemen are playing with hearts on their sleeves tonight. You see them every time they sack somebody, their hands are to the sky. Shout out again, man. Coach Dukes forever is going to be a staple in the dog pound, especially when you see Harris down there. There's a flag. I'm trying to see what's going on, but again, I got this pillar right in my face.
Got a flag with a player with his helmet off. Sure, that's what it is.
Different players page. 40-14 Stockman.
More flags.
What's the flags on? I'm assuming someone's yelling at the refs is what it is. Number 82?
No, it's probably 92.
92 cussing at the refs or something. And that's what So Mo and them will not put up with that, and that's what the flags are. They will 100% kick you out in a heartbeat. They'll let you guys play, but they don't tolerate disrespect. So 40-14. I want to see if the Stockmen are in this game before we go any farther here. If you guys got it, man, put it in there. Geddes. What is in the chat? Geddes is his name, maybe?
Chris Geddes. Chris Geddes. I wonder if he got ejected or what just happened.
They're still talking. He's upset about something.
Yeah, he had his helmet off before the play even ran, I think.
Pitbulls are going to be way behind the sticks. It's going to be 3rd down and an absolute country mile here. If anybody sees a Stockman score from that, I'm going to assume they won, but Warhawks have a team that could beat the Stockman, so I don't want to, like, shoot myself in the foot and have to backtrack, but I'm looking for scores. Is that a fumble? Bulldogs are saying they have the ball. I'm waiting on a call. I haven't seen an official call yet. Bulldogs come away with the football.
I really don't know how you call a screen right there where all the pressure was.
Looks like Kevin Funchess again with his 2nd takeaway of the night. The Bulldogs are back in business inside the 5 with a minute left on the clock here in the 2nd quarter. Nasty, this question's for you, Big Dog.
What's that? Who's that? What he said?
Who was number 9 for MVP with the Vipers?
That's number number 9 with the Vipers helmet. That is Celestine Nichols.
That's another name I see on Facebook a lot.
Yeah, he's actually helped grow the Vipers. Well, I guess that's what you want to call what they're doing with Celestine. He's a big part of the Vipers, and he's been a long time part of the Pitbulls family. With this being a lot of guys last year's playing, he came back out and took some places of some injured guys and wanted to go ahead and finish out the season playing this game.
What happened with the first half? 42 points. 42 points now, but again, this isn't. Oh, I see some butt cheeks. So that's a kid that I don't know what all the whistles are for, but
Yeah.
number 22. That's my old number, but he was with us 2 years ago, and first tryout, we're going through camp, some training, right? Some fitness training. We was going over the bags. He stepped on the 2nd bag and blew his Achilles, and he was out for surgery. He's been in a long rehab, aquatherapy, all that stuff, and he was scared to get back on the field again, so he took a year off. And this is his 3rd game back with us, man, from Achilles, blowing his Achilles and had to get it surgically repaired. So it's good to see him out there getting some reps. Better tell that man to start squatting if he can be pulling his butt cheeks out.
That question that said what happened in the first quarter or first half. The score really indicates, and as I explained this to David, it indicates how our season went. We have missed out on some really good opportunities in this game as well, and just the 2 fumbles that the Bulldogs had or missed snaps, and we're caught standing around. We got caught standing around on a long play, not paying attention to a receiver. We got beat in the middle of the field. Safety got caught looking in the backfield, fell asleep. That's really how our season has gone, with just missed opportunities and missed plays playing teams like this.
And to touch on that, man, it's what I always see funny, and I don't know if you play for a team or not, but a lot of teams that get in the chat and they're like, oh, what happened to this or that, or play for teams that refuse to play the Bulldogs. So you can't really say, like, and again, this isn't to you. I don't know, like, what team you play for, but you can't say, well, this team did this or this team did that or my team wouldn't do that if your team is one of the teams on a long list that refuse to play, you know? So, and Pitbulls are, if you look across the sideline, man, they're short numbers. I'm assuming a lot of their guys that after the championship game, because the regionals is a relatively new thing. This is their second year in regionals. A lot of guys either don't believe in the regionals or don't trust it or just didn't want to play. Pitbulls and Bulldogs have a lot of history. So you're going to have a lot of guys there that just don't want to play this game. So shout out to the guys that are over there, absolute warriors, and they're going to play to the last whistle, I promise. Got nothing but respect for those guys. So I'm getting a report now. The last I heard, Stockton game is 40-0 at the half. Up a 3rd and goal from about the 28-yard line as he left the football at midfield.
He sure enough is gonna bring it back.
The clock is stopped at 45.1.
So let me
I'm
ask
not
you.
sure why the
Let me ask
clock
you a
stopped.
question. Have you guys ever played where the ref continuously make you change your quarterback's game ball?
Continuously change it? No.
Yeah.
They do check it, though.
Well, I'm not talking about checking it. So we played in the championship game in Tennessee, and we couldn't use our quarterback game ball. We couldn't use our game ball. There was times that we got caught using a kicking ball because the refs kept needing us to rotate balls, and I think we got a couple of delayed games because we didn't have a ball ready. So that was kind of new to us, but
Hey, let the
definitely
young
isn't
kid hit
the
a
reason.
50-yarder. No, I've
Yeah,
only
definitely
time I've
isn't the
seen
reason.
a ball issue is I was actually kicking, and it was in a playoff game, and the Blaze, I think it was the Blaze of the Warriors, kept making me change my kicking ball, which I don't know why you have an issue with the kicking ball, but they had a big issue with the kicking ball. The line blew every assignment there, and Josh is running for his life. He's gonna lob that ball up, bring up a 4th down. You can see him hugging here on the sideline. Whatever happened, they brought the house there.
And I'm sure he didn't want to take
Bring the
it.
field goal unit.
I'm sure he didn't want to take a shot from Tayshawn.
Are they bringing the field goal unit out?
They should. I don't know who that kid is that's kicking the ball, but I'm gonna see if I can get him in a Pitbull uniform or a Cyclone uniform. We'll set him up real nice in St. Charles County.
So it looks like this is going to be about a 40. See where they place it down at. About a 46-yard attempt or so, depending on where they put the ball down.
Cyclones had a really good field goal kicker too. He's kicking 45.
Hack?
Yeah,
I got a
yeah, Tyler
opportunity to
Hack.
meet him.
Yeah,
I got an opportunity to meet him a little bit before that last game. So 44 yards is what the official call is on this try. Look pretty much right down the middle, maybe shaded a little bit to the right-hand side. Shouldn't affect the kick too much. Up, and it looks like it hit the post twice. It had plenty of distance. That was good from 55, but it hits the crossbar, hits the uprights, hits the crossbar. And Pitbulls are in action with 14 seconds left to see if they take the kneel and go to halftime or not. That was a 45-yard bomb from an 18-year-old.
had plenty of leg, plenty of distance.
I wouldn't have made it that far, I can tell you that.
I think next year what we're gonna do is, you always get fans that yell at the teams kick a field goal.
Yeah.
I think at halftime next year, I'm gonna challenge fans just to kick a 15-yard field goal.
So, last game, we actually did a $50 raffle ticket. So you buy raffle tickets at the gate for $3. You get drawn to come on the field in front of everybody and hit a PAT for $50 in front of everybody. Now we gave her 4 tries, and she kicked from the 15, and the ball landed on probably the 12 on 3 tries. And on 4th down, you get a coaching executive decision. Do you stay in, or do you trust another player to put the team on their back? You know what I mean? So she called on the Kansas City Bulldogs kicker to come in and win her $50 on 4th down. But the ball, total, her 3 kicks maybe gained about 7 yards.
That's
So
a lot harder than people.
It's a lot harder, and a lot of guys don't understand the kicking game. It's the snapper, the holder, and the line all has to do their job immaculately before you even get a chance to do your job. But if something goes wrong, it's your fault.
The only 2 teams that I know that practice that a lot is the Cyclones, and as you can see, your guys' team. But yeah, they practice special teams. It look like that's going to take us to the
No,
half.
they're taking a knee, they're going to shake hands, or they're going to go to halftime. So I'm gonna step aside, man. We're gonna send you guys into halftime. We're gonna play some music. We're gonna go get some water. Do what we do at halftime. We'll catch you guys on the other side of this. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us.
I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm Kansas City, but they call it Killer City. KANSASCITY. Ask where I'm from, then they'll see my reply. I'm KC till the day that me die. Been reppin' 81691 Trace since I'm knee-high. I'm Paul Rudd. I'm Maurice Green. I'm Tech 9 Travis and Strange Street. Every night we pop. I'm Icy Rock. I'm DJ Fresh, DJ Rice. I might be Jock. I'm K-Rock. I'm a fallen soldier. A royal in the major league, so they all oppose us. 40 KC, Chief 68 riots. I'm Gates and Sons, Jack Stacks and Arthur Bryant. I'm a real rider. Call me Shantae. I'm Killer City. Out a Hyundai. I'm the popper, the pretty face on a poster. I'm the plaza. P&L is on the roast. I'm Country View, where I'm known to post up. At the Bristol with wine, drinking on mimosas. Got a little sweet vodka, I'm already sipping. I'm Don Cheadle, Little Bobby, and I'm Eddie Griffin. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm Kansas City, but they call it Killer City. KANSASCITY. Ask where I'm from, then they'll see my reply. I'm KC till the day that me die. Been reppin' 81691 Trace since I'm knee-high. Go chicken, go with them fire gizzards. I'm Kansas City Monarchs and the KC Wiz. I'm Holy Temple. I'm Bill McConnell. I'm Bonzille and Captain Bonzille throwing helipods. Like I'm Romeo. Had a club called The Heart where many people were known to go. I'm Town Center, Crown Center, Sprint Center, Kemper Arena, Starlight, Independence Event Center. I'm Southeast Center, John Sams, Carol Green. I'm Brittany Atkins, Lincoln High School girls team. I'm the Gants, I'm the Duns, I'm the Bears, I'm the Willises and Dooleys. Rep for Casey like I'm Paris. I'm Ant Peeler. I'm Joe Rainey, the Rush Brothers, Tyrone Lou, and all ballers that go Maney. I'm Jeff Dayton, Durrell Kearney plus Terrell. I'm Hogan High, so I'm Marcus Denman from the 12. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm KC. I'm Kansas City, but they call it Killer City. KANSASCITY. Ask where I'm from, then they'll see my reply. I'm KC till the day that me die. Been
reppin' 81691 Trey since I'm knee-high. Ike Lee Joe, D-Loc and Dilemma Flow. I'm the Chateau Lounge, Conference Cove and Chemicals. I'm the Bannister, the Landing, in Oak Park. I'm Longview Lake, Brush Creek, and Swope Park. R.I.P. Lunatic, my bro that got me. I'm Janelle Monáe, Eminem and Joe that Watt. Hustling on 7-1, making pit stops. I be writing for a living like I'm Jason Whitlock. Get my shirt done by Dempsey on Steve-O, pumping like Bodie Highway with Big T and Pizzo. Comment Sean Malto when I skate through. Out my window at the courthouse loft, there's a great view. I'm Fairyland Park, one day on a carousel. Prospect Truce, I'm Quindero and Parallel. I'm Niecy, plus I'm Peachtree. Call 816 and 913 if ever need to reach me. I'm KC. 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 I'm Kansas City, but they call it Killer City. KANSASCITY. Ask where I'm from, then they'll see my reply. I'm KC till the day that me die. Been reppin' 81691 Trey since I'm knee-high.
Now you can find me with my eyes slow, riding low. Passenger side, gotta make them heads start turning while I'm passing them by. Soon as I step up on the scene, I see that look in your eye. I tell them they don't really want it, nah, they don't really want it. Back up off this kid, let your lid. Shit, they say I'm off the grid. Toss your bid, I stick your mid. Ain't nobody else do it like I did. I get that green, you know my style. Know how the fuck I break this down. I make it pound when I hit your town. I kick that crown, don't dick around. I'm in this main. Yeah, you see me. Other rhymers wanna be me. Big timers, big signers. Call my phone and say they need me. Cause we bring it hard. Every track, every bar, every time, every rhyme. But when I bring it up, better get mine. I ball, man. From the go. Never act like you ain't know. I ain't playing bad. I bring it. No, I mean it from the flow. Overdrive every show. High speed, never slow. Never fall, never fade. Never pay to play a show. I keep it gutter. We always grinding. You can find me in the back of the club. We sit with something shiny. I'm on that silver 7, super do it. I can do it, baby. All bets off. It's on when I set off. Set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to set it off.
Tycoon, yes, I hold down my city. From the middle where the Mac you dudes is silly. You act like you don't know me, but you keep jocking us. Real talk, no game, so put your whistles up. Game over, not flip, you talking crazy, get flipped. Not the sock, I hear the flows that believe you a cotton mouth. Hey, crib when I enter, these lames know what I claim. It's a shame if they don't, I have a sprint to the center. Where I'm from, we get it cracking fresh. 2 3s on the feet and jeans, you never see me slacking. The killer city keep lyrics that boggle minds. On the fit in 2 letters and ain't no joke, but I, man. Fella dogs, DT, one way, my entourage, straight deep kids, so don't play. Next time you in the neck of my woods, just wait, I'll show you, cause I am the state's yeah.
Set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. When the chips are on the table, hope you able enough to set it off, set it off, set it off, set it off. You can roll if you wanna, but you know you're gonna have to set it off, set it off.
Man, yeah, I know y'all feel this, you know what I'm saying? Recognize this fury from KC, Missouri, son. Man, 816, suck ass tricks, punk bitch. Yeah, I thought I told
to my guardian angel. Most angels smile. They look after you, protect you. My angels cry. Angel of God, my guardian dear. Ever this day, be at my side. Rule and guide me. KR, Lord Daniel, tears of an angel. Let's go. I'ma speak real clear. No drugs, no drinking, so I hope you follow what I'm speaking when I rip this. Let me give this thing called forgiveness. One more shot, tell me, can I get a witness? I can look into the face of the sinner every time I take a look in the mirror. No fear when I ride this train, hide this pain. Wishing I could just disappear. Sometimes I cry. Tell myself looking back in my 25 years on this earth. Most days I try to be a better man with a better plan, get a better hand, but it hurts. See, I fiend for the worst. Dream and I curse. Speak in a verse, so in need of a nurse when I walk alone, all on my own. When you're near, unclear what I hear, but at first, look it down now. Yeah, I can hear you calling, but I'm falling further away. Live my life in a day, don't let me throw it away. So I hope and I pray, but I keep sailing away. Put the nail in my grave, cause I don't follow your fate. Till the years went by and the tears I cried never did no good, so I'm dry now. You can see it in my soul, try to be an angel but I fail, so why try to fly now? I can try to succeed, never spread my seed, but I bleed when I grieve, so it's clear now. Heard it rains when you cry, man, it's been raining for a long time, someone shed a tear for me.
I've heard people call this crazy maze life. I get no chance to do it over again. Since the only one I get for I get dismissed. Man, do I get another continue to play and imitate the kid? Get my redo to do what I should have did or did what I didn't do when I wanted to. Stack my own stack, backtrack, get my take backs to pick up the slack, retract and give me back the words that I didn't hold back, or say the words I've always held back in. Whether it's game on, game off, I'm running out of continues. I can't put the Nintendo Konami code in. My life blown away like a leaf in the wind. I'm trying to outrun the next man. I'm in this to win. Gotta do what I gotta do to get the next chapter in my book to be continued. Yeah.
Why'd you have to do them like that?
Yeah, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. Yeah, fine, so nigga, you know what the fuck going on? These niggas just wanna live like this, but they can't. Yeah, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. They ain't got no cheese, these niggas just sleep. I be out the house, fuck it, I be out of town. You don't know the route, you ain't never sold a pound. Nigga call my phone, better know what's going down. Young jock, keep a tray pound, niggas know the sound. We gon' shoot that bitch up, we ain't talking it out. These niggas do too much talking while they falling out. Niggas talking about a drought, bitch, we standing out. I had that shit up in the, I ain't saying it now. Yeah, get your ass to run around. You a broke pussy nigga tryna hang around. Yeah, you will bring the whole gang down. We ain't saying shit to these niggas, not a name around. I was trying to get in the game, they ain't passed the ball. Fuck, I was a paw. Now I make it rain and they clapping ass. Round of applause. Fuck it, I'm a dog. I'm a big bear, you a cub. Not at all, you a fake nigga just watching, not involved. You a pussy nigga, stay station, you ain't raw. I'm on call for this G shit. Nigga, call my phone. Hey, fuck it, I'ma be quick. Nigga, you know how the streets get. Nigga, you better know that we really lit. I be flexing on these niggas, they don't stand by. Pay 600 for my kicks, yeah, I'm damn fly. Pay 600 for my kicks just to hoop. Spent 1,000 in Versace, I ain't even want it. Ooh, nigga, what you saying? Supreme hoodie and a babe T10. Babe draws, little bitch, I'm the man. Gucci size, Gucci belt, what the fuck? These niggas broke, stop playing. I got 5 bands on me now, I'm saying. I ain't tryna cut a check, baby, I'm saying. Only got cash, no account, I'm saying. Long as they making this shit, we gon' get it. Long as we living like this, you gon' listen. Long as I'm talking my shit, boy, I'm tripping. Long as these niggas mad at me, they gon' feel it. Long as these niggas mad at me, they gon' feel it. Yeah, these niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. Yeah, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. Nigga, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. Nigga, these niggas wannabes, I'm who they wanna be. These niggas wannabes. Yeah, bitch ass nigga, I would say a whole lot more shit, but it ain't no motherfucking need to. You niggas know what the fuck you doing. You niggas look in the mirror, wash your face every day. You know that shit filled up with hate, nigga. Fuck you, go get a bag, nigga. Do what we doing. We blowing that shit, nigga. If you got it, blow that shit, nigga. Live your life, nigga. Stop worrying about me, nigga. Y'all dick.
Damn, at you, what you have to do them like that?
The one and only. The one and only. The one and only.
About to bring it back.
The one and only.
Yeah, back in the building, y'all back on the block. Had to take a step back, now I'm back on top. Back in your face, cool ties back in the place. On my way back to the bank with the numbers to the safe. Back by popular demand, we bout to act up. Bump rush the back door, y'all dudes better back up. I'm in the back of a cab, blowing the caution Vega. Headed back to the lab to drop some more flavor. Back like the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We 25 deep in the back of the bodega. Throwing dice, getting nice, you better know some names. Before you walk back here, rocking them 2 chains. I'm from back in the days, graffiti tag trains. Real gangsters push your way back, you staring at them strange. We in the building, hoodies dressed in black. 200 strong.
All right, we are back here. Second half action. 42-14 Bulldogs. Let me switch this up. Going into the third quarter. I'll get to something here in a second after we see this return. Something I saw at halftime, which is it's really cool to see, and it kind of goes back to the history before of these two teams, right? So I go get me my Bulldog. If you guys ever play Kansas City Bulldogs in their home field, Ooey Creations is on the homemade food down here. So there's a thing called a Bulldog, where it's a sausage dog or whatever it is with pulled pork and nacho cheese and jalapenos. Get it, because it's amazing. My wife's chowing down on some pulled pork nachos right now. But I make my way into the locker room to talk to some of the players and the staff about what's going on. And the speaker's going, but Pitbulls players are in the Kansas City Bulldogs locker room and they're all turning up and dancing, having a good time. And they were all holding shirts, with Coach Dukes' picture on it saying, hey, rest in peace, Coach Dukes, respect. So to see both of these teams in the locker room and just celebrating the life of Coach Dukes, man, it's amazing to see. Like, you don't get that respect on normal teams outside of teams that are built around organizations that are built to last. So I just want to make sure we shouted that out. I mean, nothing but respect to these dudes. There's a sack by Kai. They're going to say that is down. That is another rookie that we picked up, again, from that Sunday league that everyone says there's no talent in. We went out there and scouted a little bit. This is a rookie from the Kansas City Reapers. For those of you in the chat, speaking of the Kansas City Reapers, man, I got to slow it down for a second. The Kansas City Reapers founder, David Carter, is in grim shape right now, man. For those of you who don't know, there's a GoFundMe link that I put on the Outlaws page, and it's going around. He founded the Reapers as a way to give back to the people who wanted just to play the game they love, and it started on a grass field, and it was just pickup football, and it's grown into a league. But he is in the hospital with double pneumonia and COVID. He's in a medically induced coma on 100% oxygen right now. He is not doing good. So if you all are the praying type of individuals, they can use it right now, man. Kansas City Reapers are in bad ways right now, and their family, he's got a wife and 2 little girls who are literally spitting images of him. So, hey, shout out to Big Dave, man, and I hope he pulls through because he's got a lot of unfinished business left here in Kansas City.
You know, when anything happens to folks, I mean, it seemed like it's very unexpected because you're normally seeing them guys, you know, as leaders in your community and in football and everything else. And when they go down, I mean, you want to be there for them and you want to do those kind of things to make sure that when they get well, you know, they just walk right back into whatever they were doing. So hopefully it gets better. You know, football community wants them to get better. Again, like you said, there's a lot of things going on that you guys want them to be part of. So right now it's health and make sure that he has good health when he returns.
The sad thing is he created the Reapers to give guys a chance, right? And on the field, if you look across the field, there's 3 or 4 guys that are from the Kansas City Reapers that play on Sunday, and everyone's like, well, that's a rec league. They're not going to play on Saturdays or blah, blah, blah. But they're out here right now, and they're big-time playmakers for the Kansas City Bulldogs on a big-time level. And Kai had some sacks last week against the number 5 team in the country. So I want David to get a chance to be able to see what his hard work over the last few years, you know, is paying off and what he's doing to these young men's lives.
Right.
And I hope more than anything he gets an opportunity to see what his work and his effort, you know, had played into. So hopefully, man, here in the next couple months, he heals up and we can get him in the booth. But he is in real bad shape. The last I was told, you know, by his wife was that his lungs are starting to harden up and the nurse don't give him too much of a chance to make it out. But, you know, crazy things happen in the medical world. And if you guys are the praying type, man, we can use all we can get.
That was a quick 3 and out, and you know, Missouri Valley got away from the run and brought themselves back in the 4th and long. There's that big leg from Austin.
This is a Bulldog rookie as well, playing safety this year, Marcus. He's not the biggest guy, but he plays with the biggest heart every time. Still out, no need of that. They're trying to break. So you see the veterans are trying to break things up, and then you got the rookies who are kind of stirring the pot, but you don't want to see that over an injured pit bull on the floor.
I'm
So
not
he's got
too
his
sure.
jersey all ripped up here.
I'm not too sure what even happened. I know I saw somebody get pulled up. Kind of let the refs deal with that, but you know, is it on both sides or what is it?
I'm assuming that's going to go against the Bulldogs. Man. He came in and grabbed. I didn't see anything until the grab of the back of the collar.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened exactly.
I would assume this goes on the Bulldogs or maybe an offsetting.
Might be an offsetting, be face mask maybe, and watchman.
So back to what we were talking about earlier. Stockman looked to be in cruise control, 48-0, started the third. Oof.
I guess it was just one penalty.
Yeah, I'd assume that went on the Bulldogs, man. You
But
can't just
they
run
called
in.
it face mask, though. I didn't understand what that was.
I don't know.
I saw him pull him up, but
So back to Stockman Titans UCFL championship. I think so. Titans were on the losing end of a ass whooping a few weeks back. We were up there to broadcast that game in Omaha. Actually, I think it was like 56-12, and it was the points came in kind of garbage time there at the end. The Titans clearly have added a couple players here and there. I don't think it's going to be enough for the Stockmen. I think Stockmen are a team that hits their groove late in the season. Every year in the MFA, the last few years, they started getting better, and they started knocking off teams like the Blaze in playoffs and giving Kansas City a run for their money. You know, I think it's too much for the Titans to handle. I'm going to say Stockman by 35 plus. So like it or hate it, I'm calling Stockman by 35 plus, regardless of what Titans bring. Little blocking downfield, little step back. Gets across the line to gain. And that's another Bulldog rookie. So there's one number I'm looking down here to see. I want to see him get some good reps in tonight. I haven't yet seen him. He's only been here for one of the newer additions we've gotten here in the last month. He's another Reapers player, which is why I want to see him in the game tonight. Number 82. I don't see him down there. There he is. Altrick Buchanan. That man he's about 6'4". Got a good vertical. He's got amazing hands and concentration. He gets up to the sticks. Looks like they're going to move the chains and they're going to keep the clock running here. So again, that's a Bulldog. That's the one that tore his ACL. So this is technically
the guy that just jumped over Joe.
Yep. He's tore his Achilles, so he's back from Achilles injury. So it's not technically his first year, but it's his first time playing with us because he tore his Achilles literally that very first practice. So you're seeing a lot of young guys out here tonight, especially right now, and you're gonna see a lot more coming. Donald Garcia, he's gonna have to check out here with the helmet coming off.
Does folks not lace their helmets up anymore?
Man, I think the same thing. I see people like barely get touched and the helmet comes flying. I was like, I've been clocked a few times and my helmet's never came off. If my helmet comes off, my head's coming with it.
Looks like there's no air in it or nothing.
Yeah.
Just rattles around, no chin strap.
So I'm expecting to maybe see Baron Bradshaw maybe in the mix tonight. He's coming back, like I said, he's coming back from a hiatus. He's been off since 2019. I want to really see some of these young guys back in here tonight. And another thing, you see a lot of guys coming back into the Dog Pound because Coach Deuce brought us so close together, and now he's bringing it back. Ooh, pass just a little bit overthrown there for Douglas White, the intended receiver. That's been a combination you've seen all year long for years past is whoever's the receiver to Douglas White. He's kind of been our leading receiver now for about 4 years. He's undersized as you look across from the left to right, the receiving core, but he is by far one of the deadliest receivers that you're going to see. Third down at about 8.
I'll start.
So who came first?
Defense can go back. It wouldn't stop it.
There it is. So that's what I thought it was. Defense came across, and then the lineman moved is why they blew it dead. So a little bit of heads-up play on the offensive line, I think, is how you would chalk that one up if he comes across, because they do have a chance to reset.
Yeah, you do.
But as long as the offense moves after, the neutral zone.
Yeah, he got caught in the neutral zone, didn't get back.
Les Clay, again, that's another rookie with us anyway. Les Clay with the heads-up play there on the left-hand side. This pillar is in a brutal spot for me. At least you can see it.
Yeah. You can see it on the film.
Josh looking right, pump fake, throws it. And they had him doubled up that time, but we have a lineman. Looks like he's getting up. Gabe. That brings up a 4th down and about 4. You know, I don't want to say it looks like Bulldogs kind of came out and were kind of just going with randomness here. It doesn't look like they really had a game plan there for that drive. There is a flag down.
They just threw it.
We'll see what that is. As of now, it is a 4th and 4. No, it's just... Now I'm going to step aside while they figure this thing out. Hey, Kai is in a different jersey tonight because of the red jerseys are old. He is in number 50, I do believe, tonight. Yeah, Kai is right here, number 50. The refs and the line are mad about something. I think what he's pointing at is the defense went at his knees, I think is what he's motioning at. That's gonna back the Bulldogs up. I didn't see a call. Maybe you did.
No, they dropped the flag as they were looking to get set for a play. So I don't know what got said or it was late. It was after the play.
I'm assuming it's a personal foul on the Bulldogs because you see the line is motioning as like he came at my knees and he clearly said something he shouldn't have said. The Bulldogs call for the punt team, and they're quickly sent back to the sideline. You see the owner out there, Tyron Groves, trying to tell both sides, shut up and let's play football. I don't know what was said. Yeah. Something was said that they didn't like between the two lines. Fourth and a long way here. About 20-ish. And there it is. Josh White, Douglas White. Touchdown Bulldogs, right up the seam.
They've attacked that side the entire night. They've attacked number 23, 24 the entire night.
It wasn't long before you kept that combination off. Looks like the Bulldogs is going to bring out the PAT unit here. They're calling to run the clock. As the clock is stopped at 10. Well, now it is at 10:23. It went from 10:32 to 10:23. This is Gary Poe, old man Poe, OG. He's like the lineman. Trey settles in here for the PAT attempt. Ryan Johnson, the holder. Looks like Christian is the snap. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. And it is true. Ryan Johnson said, make sure you know that was a great hold by Johnson. Yeah, appreciate it, Jay. We called that out. Actually, there were some predictions in the chat earlier about the game coming up. Championship next weekend. Where at? Where is that championship going to be held at? We might need to talk.
Who's left in the chat?
There's 63 people in the chat. I think it's in Omaha. That is filled at about the 16-yard line.
Gotta go upfield.
He runs about 30 yards and gained about 2. Looks like he gets up a little gingerly there, maybe a twisted ankle. Trying to fight for extra yards. At least they can eat Gates. Hey, shout out to King Lou in the chat. Longtime staple of this Kansas City Bulldogs defensive line. I don't think that man ages at all. Gary Poe checking in, number 72. He was there. I'll tell you, Gary Poe, he's like 56 years old. And he got through the line and was right there in it. Marcus checks him back inside where a host of Bulldogs clean it up. For those of you who are checking in, and I had a lot of people hit me up, number 8 is Isaac Wright, a big middle linebacker, was actually the defensive player of the year in the CIF not too long ago, so he knows what he's doing there, and he kind of anchors down the middle of that defense. Hey, I can tell you right now, Twan, I don't eat Gates, but your boy next to me ate Gates on the way here.
Yeah, we stopped and got Gates. I told him about it. We should have went to Q39.
There he is. Laps is okay. Gates is just overrated. Looks like Baron Bradshaw's warming up. Might be checking here soon. And they read that reverse all day long. He's in a world of trouble, and he throws the ball to a wide open receiver who drops it. Now, I don't know if that was a designed reverse pass, but it looked like he was just in trouble. He said, Messi don't know no better.
He knows why we didn't go to Q39. We would have been late for the game. Q39 is still waiting from this morning, probably. Line's outside in the street.
So bring up a 3rd down, and I think 12 here from my angle. Jack Stack is pretty good, too.
Yeah, Gates is pretty overrated. We just stopped by there.
Now, Casey Joe's is pretty good. The gas station. It's an old gas station turned into a little barbecue place. It's really good. He said, I'd be late for the game for Q39.
Out of room. Where was he going?
Kind of got bit by the turf monster there. It was a well-designed play. Quick pass out to the edge. But it's going to be short here. Looks like they're going to stay in it. 4th down and 2. Mo is calling for the clock to run. For some reason, it stopped at 9:05, and now it's rolling here. Pterodactyl in my window. They just didn't keep the business in the family. It might come into Daytona, man. I've already talked to the family. If we make it through this regional tournament, there's still a long way to go, man. But if we make it to Daytona or Orlando, there's two events we're associated with that we're going to try to go to and see which one we can get into. If we make it to Florida, we're canceling our Christmas trip, and we're going to be there in January is the plan. So, but again, I'm active duty Army, man. Things happen. That's the plan, though. Still a long way to go. That ball is thrown up, underthrown, and knocked down, incomplete. I'm checking for a flag. I don't see a flag, which is going to turn over the ball to the Bulldogs, and I'll see which quarterback is taking the field here. Looks like Barron's going to stay on the sideline. A lot of the offensive linemen are already taking off their pads. They're not wanting to get here. Again, you're going to see a lot of young guys in here soon. Bunches is already out of pads. You got a lot of the starters out of pads. Looks like who are they putting under? Looks like Ryan is going to check in as quarterback here and fit Josh White. So again, this is kind of that chess match. Regionals has a long way to go, so you're going to start seeing at what time do you start pulling your starters. You know what I mean? Timeout, MVP. We're going to take it with them. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. So we're getting ready to line up again. The backup quarterback, Ryan Johnson, he's in. Looking right. He's going to scramble right, throw the ball over the middle. He's going to get down to about the 6-yard line before he's finally dragged down by a host of Pitbulls. I forgot, man. We got football back. Kansas City Chiefs right now are trailing to the San Francisco 49ers by a score of 7-9 with 10:30 left on the clock. Second quarter. Back to my sport. The Sporting Kansas City is leading 1-0 in the 44th minute over the FC Dallas squad. BJ with the carry there up the middle to about the 4-yard line before he's chopped down.
Have you been to that Kansas City soccer?
Oh, I'm there. I'm there all the time. That's my sport. That's my jam. I'm there all the time. I was literally just there the other night.
That's one of the best places in Kansas.
They say, well, a lot of other teams are starting to catch up, but when that stadium was built, it was the #1 soccer-specific stadium in the country.
It was. We would come out to those games all the time. They're better than the Chiefs.
Honestly, man, I don't really watch the NFL. College, I watch. Soccer, I watch. There's BJ again right up the middle. In he goes. BJ is hyped. He's a long-time running back. And that one is for Coach Dukes, man. He's been calling that one all week. He just wanted the rock for that one play. BJ running right to the water. He said St. Louis Soccer City, my ass. Y'all got a pro? You ain't got a pro team out there? Ain't got a pro football team?
We do have a pro soccer team.
They ain't got a stadium. Well, you're just building a
We're
stadium.
building our stadium. We
That's
could
gonna be
probably,
another fun rivalry.
we'll probably be able to fit the Kansas City Stadium in that stadium.
That's gonna be another fun
Pretty big.
rivalry. I can't wait. St. Louis, like the Scott Gallagher Club, Lou Foos,
Lou
they
Fuse,
have
yeah.
a huge program. My son used to play soccer, so we spent a lot of time out there in the State Cup. Patrick,
Who said that? St. Louis is a huge soccer
your
town.
boy said that. Oh, that rivalry for the St. Louis and Kansas City I-70 rivalry for soccer
Yeah.
is going to be on a complete different level because soccer fans are crazy. Football fans get real drunk and just yell obscenities and they sit in their seats. Soccer fans will stand and scream the entire hour and a half.
Yeah, we were at a soccer game. Guys like, can you sit down? I'm
You don't sit down
not
at soccer
sitting
games.
down not sitting down. Find another seat.
Patrick Baki looks like the backup kicker here as well. He's checking in for his first PAT attempt of the night. And it is a line drive kick. And that is going to be no good.
I say I heard it get blocked. It went off somebody's hand. That's the reason why.
So the kickers, it seems, on Kansas City have switched roles. So the kicker that was handling the extra point opportunities there in the first half is now handling the kickoffs. And the kicker handling the kickoffs is now handling the PATs, so down the stretch. So we'll see how this plays out. Trey's got a little bit bigger leg. He's a lot better at placement, so we'll see how they use him here. That ball is going to be fielded inside about the 9-yard line. And he is getting north and south real quick and then runs into his own player and chopped down there by another Bulldog rookie. Actually, a wide receiver.
That kid that had the run back, that's Carlos Richardson. He's actually really good at running back kicks and running back punts and all sorts of things. Really great player.
You see a lot of these young guys getting reps, man. They'll come out here excited. So, Rel Lucas is a Kansas City Panther product. He's been around. He's a young man who's trying to get back to college. He wants to take that same path that we were talking about earlier with Maxwell. Checking in at number 35 here is a safety position. As both the safeties, see, a lot of people in Kansas City say you can't come over to Kansas City and get reps because Tyrone and Dorsey here. Tyrone and Dorsey have both checked out, man, and letting these young guys get their reps. So, a lot of rookies in right now across the defense here. The linebacker core and the corners. The linebacker core and the corners on the field right now are veterans, and the rest of these guys are first-year players.
And they're getting downfield really fast on them screens, too.
He said, tell LG to get out, too. If there's a spot we're low on, man, it's corners. We don't have very many corners to run with. That ball, if that ball was accurate, it was going the opposite direction for 6.
I know that the Pitbulls are losing right now. I have no idea why you go away from the run game. You're stopping the clock, staying in the deeper end of the field. I get that they want to score fast or try to score fast, but you can't go away from what you were doing.
And that's what we talked about earlier. It's the balanced attack was working, and with Bulldogs, if you get unbalanced one way or the other, they will tee off on it.
Yeah.
And shut it down. So if you present an unbalanced attack, this is a team that is well coached, and they're going to see it, they're going to diagnose it, and they're going to pick you apart. Bringing the balanced attack was working, and they 100% got away from it.
That's 3 straight series with nothing but passes. Maybe 1 run sprinkled in there.
Yeah. And again, they're doing the if you're going to stick to the passing game, you got to hit something different than what you've been working all day game. So they were hitting the out routes. And the Bulldogs are only going to give up so many of those before they say, okay, well, if that's what your money is, we're going to take it away from you and see what else you got. And they have
they're sitting 2 corners over there, and they're not playing coverage of the long ball. They got 2 safeties back there.
And then, again, that's if you're going to keep throwing out routes, Bulldogs are going to take it away from you and see what else you got, in your depth chart. But right now, I know Pitbulls have it in it, but again, it's been a long season. It's been a rough time frame for them. They're just not pulling out. We know they've got it. We've seen them in years past. You've seen it in the first half. Big kick, end over end. It's fielded about the 41. Skips around the outside. He's going to take it back the other way and hack down from behind. Man, that is just great work.
And that's Carlos Richardson, came back and fielded it and make sure he made that tackle on the backside.
Man, I was just going to say, he attempted the first tackle, went down, and a lot of people are going to lay on the floor. He got back up and continued to make pursue that play. And I made the tackle from the backside there. So shout out to him, man, and his hard work. That's a young man you want to keep around your organization and continue to build around. Not exactly sure what's going on right now. Bulldogs offense has worked their way back to the sideline. Was there a flag that I missed?
I think they got caught in the neutral zone, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a first down. I don't think you re-kick that.
I think they're making him re-kick it.
They should decline it, though. Why take the chance deep in your end zone? You're not going to get a first down on that.
This is why I'm in the booth, big dog. I don't make – those are the decisions that the moneymaker, head honcho's making. That's not me.
That part I do miss a little bit. Being the OC, but, I'm in a new position now. So.
Hey, you can't yell at me. I just call it the way – it's funny. Since I started broadcasting, I've had so many people in my inbox like, you talk trash about this guy or this player or this team. And I was like, I just call it the way I see it on the field. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. On that call, you should have declined it. It's not putting you in a better position. You might end up with this ball blocked or a bad snap or somebody hurt or something.
You definitely don't re-kick this.
Sometimes you just got to learn to live another day. And there it is, right on cue. Like we just talked about.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we just talked about that. Sometimes there's a thing, just you lick your wounds and you live to fight another day.
All the offense that's being called is keeping the game going longer than it needs to be.
And that's when you start getting the unneeded injuries and all the other nonsense. I still want to see number 82 get out there.
Oh, he's going to get an opportunity. He still have a whole fourth quarter.
That's just Ron and tell him he needs to call me right now. Right now. Bugs. Little low snap. Ryan throws. It looked like he threw a dart. I can't tell who the receiver is.
Yeah, he threw a dart there. The guy put his hands up and the ball got there as his hand went up. Try to check it on the
Ryan Johnson to Tony Johnson. And these are Kansas City Bulldogs backups in right now, just getting reps, getting some plays under their belt. Hey, blame the camera lady on that one. If you didn't see it, I'm yelling at her. She was busy yelling at me. Not today, boss. Patrick Baki staying in to try to build some confidence here. He's kind of struggled this year. He's a kicker. He's a soccer player transitioning in to be a football player at kicker, and the kicking style is just tremendously different. He's kind of struggled hitting that line drive kick, which is what you want, the trajectory on a soccer ball. Matt misses left. He got the ball up, but it misses a little bit left, so we're going to stay 61-14 here as we roll under 4 minutes inside the third quarter. Unforgivable.
No, what's unforgivable is re-kicking that ball.
So is that a player's decision on the field? Is that a coaching decision? Who makes that call?
It's definitely a coaching decision. The player can't overrule it. We need to just go to a running clock so I can get back to St. Louis.
I've been waiting for a running clock, but I don't know if they changed it for a regional thing or what they're doing, but usually by this point in the game, it's a running clock. Really nothing left to prove. The young guys, I promise you, don't want a running clock.
No, and they deserve to get every bit of work that they bust their butt just like everybody else does. No, it's just unfortunate that it's on us. Our guys are out here playing with what we have. They're playing Ironman football right now.
Playing Ironman football against a team of this caliber isn't easy, period. And then when you got to go Ironman both ways, everything is stacked against you. But again, man, 100% respect to these guys every single time I see them.
That's why you stick to the run, and you keep yourself in the game. They were in the game. I mean, you think about it. It was just 35-14.
Yeah.
And mistake after mistake after mistake. This is not a team you just give the ball back to. At some point, we're going to learn our lesson.
And these are the games that you learn it. But again, the Pitbulls haven't shied away from anything. We're about to see if they learn to run the ball yet.
Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from them. These guys that are out here tonight have been committed to the team over 8 years. Every last one of them. We have some new guys sprinkled in there that are 18 and such like that, but majority of these guys have been here 8 years plus. They're going to go out on their shield no matter what that score says, and that's just how they're going to finish. So nothing but respect for the guys that are out here today.
And I always say these are good games for teams. There they go back to the run game, picking up a couple yards. These are games that you look across your sideline and you're short numbers, but you know when shit hits the fan, those are the guys you want to ride out with.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the whole week, we knew what we had coming down here, and they just said the right 22. That was their attitude all week, regardless of how hot it was, regardless of what the score was going to be. They were not going to miss this game because of injuries or other folks didn't want to.
And that's why the Bulldogs, when we started taking St. Paul, Minnesota is the first national game, we actually got to step out of our comfort zone. And shout out to them. They let us go up there. But it let us know when we roll, you play here, you look across the sideline, you've got, 55 plus guys down here easily. And then you roll into Minnesota, we had 23 guys. And then we rolled into, Sioux City with 25 guys. And then you roll into Minnesota again, or Denver with 25 guys. And at that point in time, we knew who was really with us. And there was a lot of cuts made out. That year, we rolled with 33 guys for the year because coach was like, I don't need you if you're only coming home games. I don't need you. And this is where you see it on your sideline. And those are the guys you build a solid foundation around those guys. And that's when you start getting somewhere.
And normally when you see the Pitbulls, you see 55 guys.
Yeah.
You can go to any game of ours, look down the sideline from sideline to sideline, you see 55 guys. Oh,
Uh-oh. So that was a blown coverage somewhere in the linebacker core. Again, these are all young guys out here mixing stuff up. So, again, that's what you're going to see the corner there on the far side, Wilson, and the corner LG in there talking to these guys in the secondary as Kansas City has pulled their linebackers, the kind of the staples in. They're making sure these guys are dialed in and doing the right thing. So that's a little blown assignment. But again, these guys are young and they're going to pick this up. This is the future of the Bulldogs right here. So he was So a couple quarters ago, number 25 broke that play up over there, Wilson.
yep.
And just now, him and the receiver were completely locked up all the way down the field. And they threw a back shoulder throw. The receiver falls down on his back to catch the ball, and the entire line jumped in number 25's face because he deserved it because he earned it from earlier. Sometimes, man, your words come back to bite you. You live by your word and die by your word sometimes out here. That's a high throw, and the ball, they're going to call that incomplete. Luckily so. Looked like Rel Lucas was in there to deliver the hit. Coming from his safety position. Again, that's another young man trying to get to college, making a play there, breaking up the play.
And Chris Jones, a.k.a. Batman, he usually makes those catches and goes through those hits. But, I mean, you've seen these guys play both sides of the ball. I know their legs are tired.
Their mind's tired. Everything.
But after this game, he's going to shake them guys' hands, and he's going to talk to them after the game. That's just the way he is.
What is up with this center? Are those sweatpants or are they just torn football pants?
So the center,
What's going on here?
he couldn't get pants in his size. He's a 7X, and
That's a big boy.
he's been playing for a long time. And
I've met him every time we've played.
yeah. And so when we go this uniform, the company doesn't make the black in his size.
And there's Rel Lucas again, man. He delivers a shot, but he breaks on the ball. He had a lot of green grass in front of him, but he was able to get in there and break that up. That's a young man who's trying to follow Maxwell's footstep and get into college.
Yeah,
So
he
far, man,
definitely-
he's out here showing out and doing his thing.
Hey, one thing he does well is come downhill. I haven't seen him too much in coverage, but he does come downhill fast. Whether it's to break up the play or to lay his shoulder into someone. So
And that's one thing that he's learned being under Dorsey is Dorsey, as we all know, he's not afraid to come downhill. He plays downhill. And he told these guys that if you're going to replace me, you need to go downhill and be unafraid to get involved. You know what I mean? So he's been sitting behind Dorsey for a while now, and you see it playing off. He's wanting to come downhill.
But you see that the game has changed to where these corners and safeties are prima donnas to where they don't like to do that.
Except for Dorsey's just the
Yeah.
old school, man. University of Wyoming product. He's
They-
been doing this since like the OG days in the 70s. Uh-oh, shook a tackle there. Oh, Marcus delivering a big hit, but that moves the sticks. Pitbull's in here showing some grit. Yeah, that hurt.
That's one of our guys that actually is playing at the next level. He actually is playing pro arena. You know, they're off right now.
Yep.
He played in Wyoming. He's been with us for 2 years. And then he had a really great season, even though we didn't win the championship. A lot of yards gained, a lot of touchdowns, and he got picked up by pro arena team. So
That's what a lot of these guys are trying to do, man. So and that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. A lot of these guys say, well, semi-pro, you guys aren't going anywhere. If you want it and you put in the work for it, you can go.
also, he's a product of Lindenwood University. He played slot and corner or safety, I believe, there. And when he stepped on semi-pro, he saw how real it was when we played teams like you, when we played the Blades, when we played in the MFA and the Stockman and all those other teams. And he knew that he wasn't in shape. He thought he was in great shape leaving Lindenwood, but a lot of the competition that we play, these guys practice a lot. They're in the gym, and he actually went and did nothing but that on his off season. Had a good second year, and then made 2 pro arena teams. So one was in Wyoming, and the other one was the St. Louis Stampede. That end up after they beat Dallas Prime.
Yeah, I remember that one.
They shut down for some reason. They said it was due to COVID. I'm
You know,
not
I've seen some
100%.
issues.
Not 100% sure what it was. The
Yeah.
owner was from Indianapolis, and
I don't know. There were some issues in this. I'm in the CIF insiders group, the CIF
Yeah.
champion. So there was some stuff talked about, and I don't know. I don't know enough about that organization to speak on it, but they were doing right things. It looked like they had the right things in motion, and then they just kind of vanished.
and the thing is they had a lot of great college athletes. They had Drew Hare. He's a product of Northern in Chicago, Northern Illinois. They had some running backs from Mizzou, all sorts of different things. They had cheerleaders. They had everything, and they were playing in the Family Arena, which is a big deal in St. Charles County. And then the best thing of what could happen is they beat the Dallas Prime, and then
Dallas Prime's a no joke.
and then they just stopped playing.
Yeah.
So then he got picked up by a Wyoming team and did very well out
The
there.
Wyoming, the Mustangs.
Did very well out there, and then he came back here, and he's been on our
Getting
roster
reps
all
with him.
season, and yeah, he's getting reps in this game.
There's that comeback route. So the comeback route is going to start working a lot on these young guys until they kind of get settled in. Bring up a 2nd down and about 5. Some of the young guys are down here getting put through the ringer with the veterans. Veterans are playing some tricks on the young guys. Pocket is collapsing. That was a great catch, feet in bounds, but it looks like it's going to come back to a holding call. Number 81 on the reception. That was a diving acrobatic catch, man, but it looked like it's going to be called back for a holding call. Hey, man, I'm going to step aside for a second. I'm going to go downstairs. Dwayne, man, it's all you, big dog.
All right, I'm gonna go and check in these comments, see what I got.
Hey, you just got to keep moving this so it stays.
Okay.
Comments kind of slowed down, but
Wait to see what this call is here. Let's see who's in here. I want to talk to some people that's online here. This game's got kind of out of hand. Did they keep it 1st down? Third down, they called it incomplete. No penalty. Looked like they picked up the flag. Pass from Chop to Batman. How many people still in here? How do you tell how many people still in here? Oh, right there. How do I stop this? It's this one. So touchdown MVP. Looked like that was Darion Pope that scored. Oh, you have to update it. 61-20. Well, David left me up here, so I'm on the mic by myself. Pitbulls was able to get that one in the end zone. Darion Pope for the touchdown. 2-point conversion is no good. Hey, they're not. Game is out of reach, though. 61-20. 11 minutes to go. Like David said, you're going to get to watch a lot of these young guys from Kansas City Bulldogs get reps here as they continue their. Looks as if they're gonna go ahead and continue into the regionals, where they'll take on the Missouri Cyclones. Hey, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Missouri Cyclones never played the Kansas City Bulldogs. What do we got? That's going to be a good matchup. Missouri Valley's undefeated. Do not recall the Kansas City Bulldogs record. You guys still undefeated? No. One game. I think they lost one game. Very good team out here. Well coached, well disciplined. They're going to be playing another well coached and well disciplined team. Will it be a shootout? Cyclones can score with the best of them. Kansas City Bulldogs, as you can see, they can score. Pope's really played the entire game. I'm glad he was able to get in the end zone there. I think the last time Pope played the Kansas City Bulldogs, he ended up breaking his ankle. Tried an onside kick there. Got it down into the 50. Almost looked recoverable. Just guys didn't have enough steam to get downfield. Deontay, was that to Minnesota? Minneapolis? Minnesota? I believe so. Hey, Mel, you didn't go bowl with these guys, did you? Hey, David's coming back up here. He's there. Yeah, I'm on the mic. David's their good luck charm. He comes back up here. They're going to score another 61 points.
I just want to see what they're doing. So they call for a running clock, and Bulldogs have officially checked out pretty much all the starters. Altrick Buchanan is he's a Reapers player. He's checking in here in the slot here on the near side. The young man, he won, I think it was Offensive Player of the Year in his league. So first pass tries to find him. Unlucky. He was covered heavily. But yeah, from my understanding, it's a running clock now. And we'll see a running clock the rest of the way. Hey, you had the chat fired up in here. I went 15 minutes and no one said a word. You're in here for 3. Thing's blowing up. Eating up the air over here. The Bulldog coaches are kind of arguing at each other because they're pulling starters out, and the defensive coaches don't want them out. So you've seen that run where he broke a big tackle. That was a wide receiver trying to make the tackle. That's what the coaches are upset about.
Pope's hard to bring down.
Yeah, especially when you're a wide receiver and you're 5'9". Why do you try to one-hand that? There's some flags in the backfield. He tried to one-hand that. He had a lot of green grass if he would have just caught it with 2 hands. Back to the fundamentals.
You guys still having fun though.
Yeah, it looked like they got the Bulldogs for a hold. He was falling backwards, holding on to the Pitbulls player, and brought him down with him.
Our guys out here dancing like we're winning.
This is regional, yes. Number 22, which side, man? White or red?
Who's your guy? That's the guy that came
Yeah. Number 22, he's back from his Achilles tear.
Third and inches, it looks like. No, third and long. Fourth and long.
Bulldog 22 is Daniel Garcia.
Oh, it's up.
Bulldogs are calling for a flag. He was hit early. Bulldogs aren't going to get it.
Jump over 3 players.
Hey, that kid is not afraid of the ball. I'm telling you, this is why he won Offensive Player of the Year over there. He is 100%. Look, you see the handshakes. Yeah. This is why Pitbulls are dancing. There's no bad blood out here between these two teams, man. It's all about coming out and playing football and having fun.
Rachel always make sure that we see you guys' comments.
If you don't got anything going on, come check out King Scrimmage. So I believe the KC Land League meeting is tomorrow, where each team has to have a representative. So I think I'm scheduled to be there. I got to check out when it is. There's a KC Land League meeting tomorrow, and then I got to pick up my kids. So I'll be up in the Independence area. So again, you've got one veteran on the left-hand side here, 2 veteran linebackers in, and then you got a bunch of rookies with wide receivers playing corner. And Big Christian with the sack. Welcome back, Ginger. His first game back since 2019 as well. Guess he still got a little bit in him. That's a long snapper, i.e. defensive end, who's put on about, I'm going to just say 10 pounds, so he don't get mad at me because he's a lot bigger than I am. Christian Young, yes, sir. Long time Bulldog defensive end. Kind of bounced around here in the last few years. Actually kind of hung up the pads and hasn't really played. Glad to see him back home, man. He just bull rushes. It's funny, Dom there in the coverage, number 42. He's the 19-year-old I was telling you about. He told me at halftime if he gets an interception, I owe him dinner. And he could have had that intercepted, but he had no clue where he was running, looking the opposite direction. Might be the 22nd, man. I have to go back and check the messages. Interstate Cyclones? He spent some time down there for sure. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And Christian's got him again. It's Harris. I'm going to choke on my words here, but Harris, he's looking to the sky, looking for Coach Dukes. Man, him and Coach Dukes had a relationship that was unmatched. There's no one on the field that was closer to Coach Dukes than that man right there. Well, last I talked to him, he wasn't sure he was even going to play in this game or if he even wanted to play football anymore. And we told him, just get out here and play with your brothers, and it'll it'll make sense to you. So I'm glad to see he stayed with it, and he's out here. And I know he was shedding some tears earlier, and I know he's gonna shed some tears after this game. But that was big for him, man. Get a sack and point to the sky. You know where that's coming from. Stockmen are up 64-0. Ruh-roh. That ball is thrown deep and overshot everybody. So Kansas City Chiefs, in probably the longest running quarter I've ever seen in my life, are still trailing 7-9 if my ESPN is right, and it's still in the second quarter. And Harris is out there playing with pure heart right now. Like I said, he's one of my really close friends on this team, and we talked a lot all week, and he wasn't sure that he was going to want to play in this game anymore, but I'm glad to see he's out here, and you see him point straight to the sky. They're missing some linemen, so they're sending out some makeshift, again, linemen. We're cutting their pads off. The clock is still rolling as we hit 1:30 left here in the closing time frame. So I'm gonna let you have it, unless number 82 gets the ball here.
Hey, we have about 1:30 left. I want to just get some shout outs. Hey, congratulations to the Kansas City Bulldogs. Well played again this season against you guys. We'll see each other again down the road as you guys take on the Missouri Cyclones. Second, my little league team here, Fort Zumwalt East Junior Lions. I'd like to give them a shout out. And hey man, just keep football rolling here in Kansas City. We'll talk in regards to the state championship that we're going to end up doing. I think we're going to bring in a lot of great, not just only talent, but businesses looking to start investing in semi-pro overall.
We got him again. That is Baron Bradshaw. Welcome back. Big dog with a strike to Xavier. That's a
Same
touchdown.
two guys.
Bradshaw, no, Baron Bradshaw is back. That is his second pass since 2019, and he's getting tackled and dogpiled. But for sure, man, we're going to be in touch. There's a lot of stuff that we still have that we need to plan and get accomplished. Holding his leg doesn't look good. He's doing it till the clock runs to 0. See? So he's not hurt at all. He just doesn't.
I know who that is. I know who that has.
But it's the sportsmanship that you see between these two teams. I guarantee you these two teams are going to go out. They're going to embrace right now. And they're going to go out and talk after the game. And I appreciate every one of you guys for hanging out with us here tonight as this regional matchup is concluded. So now it's set. You have the Missouri Cyclones undefeated taking on the Kansas City Bulldogs. And you have the Jackson Stampede taking on the First City Cavalry as your regional bracket takes place here in the South. So we're still haven't seen the North, but it's going to look like the Titans and who is it? The Titans and Stockmen will get that invite as the UCFL champs and runners-up. It's just unseen so far who's going to be the top seed and who's going to be the second seed. So we'll decide that next weekend. But appreciate you guys all for tuning in, man. We're going to send it out of here. Appreciate Dwayne. Appreciate you, man, for tuning in. If you want any final say-sos before we send it out.
Oh, no. I thank everybody for tuning in. This was really fun. Thank you, Rachel, for giving me everything I need to know about how the setup is. And it was fun, man.
As always, man. It gives you a different dimension. You know, we're sitting up in the booth and having fun. So I'm going to get down there and shake it up with the players, man. I appreciate you for tuning in. Safe drive back, man.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Hey, from Outlaws Broadcast, man, I appreciate every one of you for tuning in. And as always, man, if you want that tutty, run left.